See the guy in the snow? The one with the coat that doesn't fit and the expression of a man who's just been diagnosed with protagonist? That's our boy Logan. He's having a worse Tuesday than you. Son of a duke. Was supposed to inherit everything. Now he's walking through snow because his brother said he tried to poison the old man. Spoiler, he didn't. Spoiler, nobody cares. Did he actually do it? Of course not. Eldrin did. But when your dad's a duke and your brother's the golden child, evidence is whatever they say it is. The verdict was exile. The destination was the northern frontier. The inheritance was this coat. Notice it doesn't fit. This is his inheritance. An empty plot of frozen dirt. The crown was very specific. This is his, and he has to make something of it, or die trying. They were flexible on the outcome. The crown is always flexible on the outcome. He reads the stake twice. Like maybe the second time it'll say something else. It doesn't. It still says this is his problem now. He looks around. Trees, snow, more trees, more snow, a crow. The crow looks at him like he's an idiot. The crow is correct. The crow has never been more correct about anything in its corvid life. He sits down, not because he's giving up, because his legs have filed a formal complaint and he doesn't have a chair, also his back, also his feet, also his will to live. The list is long. Plot armor only goes so far. He's about to find out where the floor is. And then the universe decides to be funny. A light. Right in front of his face. Blue. Floating. Definitely not a crow. Definitely not helpful. Definitely not leaving. He doesn't move. Doesn't blink. Just stares at it. Like maybe if he ignores it, it'll go away. It doesn't. It never does. The genre has arrived and the genre is not leaving. Welcome to the Overlord system, where the only way to build a kingdom is to buy people. They really leaned into the genre on this one. He doesn't trust it. He shouldn't. But he also can't feel his feet, so he taps. The system does not ask if he's sure. The system has no ethics menu. The system is built different. First lesson. The currency is called devotion coins. You earn them by making people loyal to you, specifically women. Specifically, women you acquire. Subtle. He asks the obvious question. The system ignores him. The system is like that. He tries again. The system helpfully suggests he explore the menu. So helpful. Very specific. He hates it already. He taps ACQ musicians. Because of course he does. The man has 10 coins and no impulse control. He scrolls. Portrait. 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 They all cost more than he has. Of course they do. The system doesn't do charity. And then, a portrait, with a discount sticker, because she killed 3 previous owners. The genre is honest about its sales. Former knight captain of the Silver Vigil, sold into slavery after a political purge. The system lists her hobbies as killing owners and not dying. Helpful. And there she is, Serafina Voss, former knight captain of the Silver Vigil, sold into slavery after a political purge. The system lists her hobbies as killing owners and not dying. Helpful. Very helpful. The system is built different. Then a pop-up. Tutorial bonus, plus 2 DEV. Welcome to the Overlord system. The genre is feeling generous, or mocking him, probably both. He can afford exactly one, and not the safe one, the one with the body count. Main character energy detected. The system asks if he's sure. He clicks yes before the pop-up finishes loading. Now he just has to wait. In the snow, with nothing, for the delivery. The system doesn't do refunds if you freeze to death first. He doesn't sleep, not because he's tough, because if he sleeps, he dies. The math is simple. The math is always simple in the snow. He counts his breaths. Loses count around 400. Starts over. Loses count around 200. The cold is winning. And then, sound, not wind, not snow, footsteps, heavy, armored, coming closer. The slavers show up. 2 of them, 1 of her. The chains are excessive. The metal collar around her neck has seen better centuries. The cart stops. The slavers don't get down. One of them tosses a key, doesn't make eye contact, just wants to be gone before she remembers how to kill. He catches the key. The slaver turns his horse without a word, doesn't look back. Smart. Last guy who lingered got rearranged. She doesn't say thank you. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at him like he's a problem she hasn't figured out how to solve yet. The chains between her wrists are heavy. The collar on her throat is heavier. She stands like neither of them exist. Old habits. He looks at the key. Looks at her, looks at the empty wilderness around them, realizes he's alone with a woman who has killed 3 men exactly like him. He tosses her the key. She catches it, doesn't move, doesn't blink, just holds it. He tosses her the key. She catches it, doesn't move, doesn't blink, just holds it, like it's a trap, like he's a trap, like everything is a trap. She's not wrong. Everything in this genre is a trap. The genre is honest about this. He says the smartest thing he said all day. The chains slow you down. We've got work. No speech. No monologue. Just, get up. We have things to do. She stares at him for a long 3 seconds. Then she puts the key in the lock. Slowly. Like she's waiting for the catch. There isn't one. Yet. The wrist chains are off. The collar stays. He doesn't have a key for the collar. The system doesn't sell one. Yet. The genre is patient. He points at a pile of rocks against a wind-bent tree, says that's where they're sleeping tonight. She stares at him. First word she speaks to him, that's not a shelter. Cold, flat, like she's correcting a recruit. He says not yet, and starts stacking rocks. She watches for 10 minutes, arms crossed, saying nothing, judging. After 10 minutes, she picks up a rock. Doesn't ask, doesn't announce it, just picks one up, a big one, twice the size of his. She sets it into the wall, perfectly, like she's done this before, because she has. Knight captains build field fortifications. The genre did its homework. 2 hours, no words, just rocks and pine branches and the occasional grunt of effort. They build something that won't kill them. Barely. First night, neither sleeps. She's watching him, he's pretending not to notice. The fire crackles, the wind howls, romance is in the air, the kind that ends in stabbing. Sometime in the deep night, she talks to the fire. Not to him, to the fire. Why didn't you chain me? He answers without opening his eyes. Chains slow you down. Same line as before. She doesn't reply. The fire pops. The wind howls. Something shifts. She doesn't sleep. She doesn't speak again. She just watches the fire die. And him. Mostly him. Dawn. Pale gray light through the gaps in the pelt. The fire is dead. She's already up. Already outside. Already armed. With a stick. The pride of the former knight captain of the Silver Vigil. Everyone. He crawls out. She doesn't acknowledge him. Just keeps sharpening. The stick is now sharp enough to file taxes with. He stretches. His spine files another complaint. She pretends not to hear it. Polite. And then, howling, from the tree line, not wolves, worse, Serafina's whole body changes. No longer cold, no longer tired, just ready. Old habits die hard, especially when they kept you alive. Logan doesn't know what's happening. The system does. The system always does. A red bordered alert pops up. He has 45 seconds. 8 units, 200 meters, 45 seconds. He has a stick. She has a slightly bigger stick. The inventory is bleak. She turns on him. Give me a real weapon, not a request, a demand. He doesn't have one. He has a system shop. He scrolls the shop. Iron sword, 50 coins. He has 10. The genre demanded he be useless right now. The genre was winning. She's counting. He doesn't know what she's counting. But it's about to matter. 30 seconds, she says, flat, like a metronome. Then, a new pop-up, gold border. Offer Serafina a devotion pact to access her awakened state. He has no idea what that means. He clicks yes. Main characters don't read terms and conditions, especially when there's howling. Across the clearing, her eyes go wide. She feels it, something in her chest, clicking into place. A door she'd forgotten existed. She moves. The stick becomes a blur. The first blight beast dies before it clears the tree line. It didn't even see her. Second beast. Third. She doesn't stop, doesn't slow. The stick breaks on the fourth. She uses the splintered end. It works. And here we go. The armor gets the memo. The armor always gets the memo in this genre. The shoulder seam gives, the brand mark shows, the packed light pulses underneath. Logan watches. Doesn't help, can't help, just stands there like a man realizing he bought way more than he paid for. Sixth beast. Seventh. She's not even breathing hard. The packed light is doing something to her, or she's doing something to it, hard to tell. Eighth beast. The big one, the pack leader. It's twice the size of the others, 4 eyes, all on her. She doesn't hesitate, she charges, the beast charges, the collision is loud, the stick is now splinters, she doesn't care, she has fists. She hits it. Again, the skull plate gives, the beast drops, the packed light fades from her eyes, the clearing is very quiet. 8 beasts. Under a minute, the snow is red, the stick is now 4 sticks, she's not even breathing hard, plot armor, but for her, not him. She turns back to him, blood on her face, eyes still faintly glowing. She looks at him like she's deciding something. He's not sure what. He's not sure he wants to know. He manages. Good job. 2 syllables. The most generic praise in any language. It does not feel like enough. It is not enough. Her eyes flicker. The system pings. Serafina Voss, devotion 12%. Up 7 points from good job. The bar is doing the heavy lifting here. The system auto-collects the loot. Because of course it does. He's now worth 47 more coins than he was 10 minutes ago. Monster murder. Surprisingly profitable. He buys the sword, hands it to her hilt first. She takes it, tests the balance, frowns. It's adequate. That's Serafina for, I will defend you with this until something better shows up. He's learning her language. It's a short dictionary. Most of the entries are adequate. 3 days. They build, they hunt, they fight small things. They don't talk much. Progress. Day 4. He's been counting. The counter hits 500. He grins. The first genuine grin since the trial. Serafina notices. She doesn't say anything. She notices. He pulls up the build menu, hits confirm on the Sovereign's Hall. The system does its thing, which is to say, reality politely rearranges itself. Stone, timber, a proper roof, a door, windows. The Sovereign's Hall assembles itself in 15 seconds, even Serafina's poker face cracks. He manages, good job. 2 syllables. The most generic praise in any language. It is not enough. It will never be enough. The metric ticks up 7 points anyway. The genre's economy is broken. The genre's economy is perfect. The genre's economy is honest. The system built it. I just paid. He's not taking credit. She notes that, files it away, doesn't know what to do with it yet. Inside, one room, a table, 2 chairs, a hearth, a bed, one bed, they both notice. Neither addresses it. He takes the chair, gives her the bed, doesn't make a thing of it, just does it, like it's the obvious move, because it is. She stands by the bed for a long time, touches the mattress, like she's forgotten what one feels like. The fire pops, she doesn't move. She pulls her gauntlets back on, the moment passes. She's the night captain again, I'll take first watch. He nods. They both know she doesn't need to, they both know she's going to, they both know why, neither says it. Morning. He checks the system. Devotion, 24%. Up 9 points from a mattress. Logan is starting to understand the genre he's in. He doesn't tell her about the metric. Some things are better left as subtext, especially when the subtext is, the system is tracking how obsessed you are with me. She wakes, doesn't startle, just opens her eyes, like she was never really asleep. Night captains sleep like that. The system pings, new shop tier unlocked, specialized acquisitions, translation. The system thinks it's time to add another woman to the roster. The system has no chill. And there she is. Nyx, Dark Elf Witch, Banned Sorceress, Black Market Acquisition. The portrait alone should come with a content warning. Platinum hair, dark skin, glowing rune tattoos. The robe situation is optimistic. The artist knew exactly what they were doing. The price tag is 2,000 coins. He has 12. She's never been owned. She was sealed in a vault. By a kingdom that gave up on killing her. Logan reads this, does not blink. He sighs. The grind is real. 2,000 coins. He has 12. He does the math. The math laughs at him. Serafina walks in, sees the portrait. Her face does something complicated, then nothing, then complicated again. Another one. 2 words, flat. She's not asking, she's confirming. Logan doesn't lie, especially not to a woman with a sword and a body count. He says yes, just yes. She nods, walks out. The door closes a little harder than necessary. The genre has remembered. Jealousy is a feature, not a bug. The metric on Serafina ticks down, for the first time, 24 to 22. The economy has a downside. Logan stares at the metric, then the door, then the portrait. He follows her out. She's sharpening the sword, aggressively. The sword didn't do anything wrong. The sword is a proxy. He sits across from her, doesn't speak, just sits, 3 paces of snow between them. After 5 minutes, she stops sharpening. I will not share a roof with a witch. First full sentence of the day. Logan considers this. The fire, in his mind, is the witch. The witch, in her mind, is the fire. Then we'll build her a tower. He doesn't argue, doesn't dismiss, just solves. Her eyes narrow. She was ready for a fight. He didn't bring one. You planned this. She's wrong. He didn't. But he can see why she'd think so. The genre would think so too. The genre is on her side here. I didn't, but I'll plan around it. She stares. The metric ticks back up. 23. He earned 1 point back by not being the genre's protagonist for 5 seconds. She goes inside. He stays, watches the snow, thinks about the witch he can't afford and the night he can't quite read. The genre is patient. Logan is learning to be. The system pings. First rival lord detected. Baron Craig, 40 kilometers east. Logan forgot there were other people in this story. Baron Craig sells slaves, cheats farmers, has a mustache that screams, I will be the first villain. The Manhwa is not subtle. The Manhwa has never been subtle. Logan grins. For real this time. How many coins for taking him out? The system, 2,000. Same price as Nyx. The math is doing itself. He looks at the night. He looks at the witch. He looks at the Baron. He looks at the snow. He says, we've got work. Next episode. Baron Craig has a slave market. Logan has a knight, a system, and no impulse control. What could go wrong? Spoiler, everything. Spoiler, it's gonna be great. Previously, Logan got exiled, found a magic shop in his head, bought a knight with a body count, killed some monsters, built a house. Now he wants a witch. The genre never stops wanting. 2,000 coins. He has 12. The math is the same as last episode. The math has not improved. But the system has good news for once. There's a rival lord nearby. Baron Craig sells slaves, cheats farmers, has a mustache that screams first villain. The system has done him a favor. Reward for removal, 2,000 coins. Same price as the witch. The math is doing itself. The genre is doing itself. Everyone is doing itself. He calls Serafina inside. She's been sharpening the sword since dawn, aggressively. The sword didn't do anything wrong, again. He shows her the dossier. Baron Craig, 40 kilometers east, slaver, cheat, mustache. She reads it. Her face does something complicated. Craig. She says the name like she's spitting. I know him. He supplied the cages they put me in. The genre just handed her a personal stake. The genre is generous like that. Logan watches her expression. files it away, doesn't comment. Some cards you don't show, especially when the woman holding them has a sword. He shows her the tactical map, the manor, the slave pens, the guard routes, and something else, a vault, beneath the manor, sealed. The system doesn't know what's in it. She doesn't ask about the vault, she asks about the guards. 8, 2 on the gate, 2 on the pens, 4 roaming. She could do it in her sleep, she has done it in her sleep. Knight captains dream about this stuff. She asks about his role. He says he'll handle the vault. She asks what's in it. He says he doesn't know yet. She stares at him. He shrugs. We've got work. She doesn't argue. She nods. Once, goes back to studying the map. The dynamic is clear. She runs the combat. He runs the surprises. The genre approves. They leave at dawn. The cart has provisions for 3 days. The horse looks cold. The horse is correct. Everyone is cold. 2 days to Craig Manor. Through the snow, through the dead pines, through absolutely nothing else. The frontier is forgiving like that. First night camp, small fire, 2 bedrolls, the horse tied to a pine. Serafina takes first watch, voluntarily, without being asked. The pattern is now a pattern. Logan sleeps. Actually sleeps. The first real sleep since the exile. The system's vigilance doesn't hurt either. The genre is letting him rest, for now. Dawn, cold. Snow on the bedrolls. The horse has opinions. The horse expresses them. They keep moving. Second day. The trees thin. The land flattens. Smoke on the horizon. Craig Manor. The genre's first target is in sight. They leave the cart in a ravine. Horse hobbled. Creep forward on foot. The snow is deeper here. The silence is louder. The genre is loading the tension. Recon position. Behind a low ridge overlooking the manor, Serafina pulls out the map, updates it. The guard routes match. The vault entrance is in the back. Of course it is. She points. 2 guards on the gate, 2 on the pens, 4 roaming, same as the dossier. She outlines her approach. Distraction at the front. Loud. Violent. The genre's favorite word. He asks about the awakened state. She says not unless needed. The pack drains. The system confirms 5 DEV per activation. The genre is keeping the power up in reserve. He nods. She nods. They split. She goes left, toward the front. He goes right, toward the back. The genre's heist is officially underway. Serafina reaches the front gate. 2 guards. Torches. Bored. About to have a very interesting evening. She picks up a rock, throws it, hard, at the manor's weather vane. The weather vane rings. The guards turn. She's already moving. First guard goes down before he can shout. The second one shouts. Once. That's enough. The manor's door bursts open. 4 more guards. She grins. The genre grins with her. She doesn't need the awakened state. Not for these guys. These guys are practice. She's been waiting 2 weeks for this. The genre has been waiting longer. Inside the manor, Logan hears the chaos. Good. He moves. The back door is locked. He has a system. The system has lockpicks. 5 DEV. He buys them. The genre appreciates the tool. The lock clicks. The door swings. He's in. The kitchen. Cold hearth. Stale bread. A staircase going down. The vault. The genre's heist is on rails now. Outside, Serafina is having the time of her life. Don't tell her I said that. She'd deny it. Then she'd hit you. Logan descends. The air gets colder. Frost on the walls. The torches gutter. The genre's heist beat becomes the genre's horror beat. Same difference. He reaches the bottom. A corridor. Iron braced doors. And at the end, the vault door. 7 locks. Runes carved into the frame. The genre is not subtle about what's behind it. The system pings. Sealed vault detected. Acquisition target inside. Direct acquisition available. Cost, 2,000 DEV. Confirm? The genre is not making him work for it. He doesn't have the coins yet. He needs Craig dead first. He taps hold. The system obeys. He has work to do before the witch is his. He climbs back up. The kitchen is no longer empty. A guard, single, bored, looking for food. Logan is not food. The guard is about to learn this. Quick, quiet. The guard drops without a sound. Logan catches him, lowers him. The genre appreciates a professional, especially when the professional is the protagonist. He moves into the manor proper, the main hall. Gaudy, gold trim, tapestries, an ornate chair on a dais. Not quite a throne. Craig's overcompensation made architectural. He hears Craig before he sees him. The mustache is upstairs, panicking. The mustache has opinions about the chaos outside. The mustache is loud. The mustache is always loud. The mustache does not know it's about to have a very bad evening. Logan waits. Lets Craig come down. The mustache descends the staircase in a disheveled nightshirt, fur coat thrown over, no rapier, no rings. The mustache has had a bad night. The mustache is about to have a worse one. Craig hits the bottom of the stairs, sees Logan, freezes, the mustache trembles. The genre's first villain has met the protagonist. The mustache knows it's over. Craig tries to negotiate. Of course he does. Gold, title, women. The genre's first villain offers the genre's first checklist. Logan doesn't blink. I can give you anything, Craig says. Logan says, You don't have anything I want. Then he adds, but she does. Craig's face does something complicated. Serafina appears in the doorway behind Craig, blood on her armor, blood on her sword, the iron collar stark. Craig hasn't seen her yet. The genre is savoring this. Craig turns, sees her. The mustache goes very still. The piggish eyes go very wide. He recognizes her. She recognizes him. The genre's payoff is here. You, she says it flat. Not a question. Craig starts to back up, toward Logan. The genre appreciates the symmetry. Craig is about to learn the genre's opinion on slavers. Logan steps aside, gestures toward Craig. He's yours. 3 words. The genre's protagonist hands off the genre's first villain. The knight captain accepts. Craig drops to his knees, begs, offers more gold, offers more titles, offers the slave pens. The mustache is wet with tears. The genre is unmoved. Serafina is unmoved. Everyone is unmoved. Serafina doesn't speak. She walks forward, slowly, deliberately. The TWH-handed sword comes up. The genre is savoring this. The knight captain is savoring this. The mustache stops trembling. It accepts. 1 stroke. Clean. The mustache hits the floor. The genre's first villain is removed. The system pings. 2,000 coins, plus territory, plus the vault. The math has completed itself. Serafina stands over the body. The sword drips. The iron collar stark. She doesn't speak. She doesn't need to. The knight captain has completed her first contract for Logan. The metric ticks up. Logan touches her shoulder. Brief. Doesn't speak. She looks at him. Her violet eyes are wet. She blinks it away. The genre notes the moment. Logan files it. The dynamic shifts. Back to the vault. The system confirms. Direct acquisition available. Cost 2,000 DEV. He has it now. He taps confirm. The 7 locks begin to turn, one by one. The door swings. Cold air. Purple light. And there she is, floating in a crystal prison. Eyes closed. Body still. The rune tattoos dim. The witch has been waiting 200 years for this. The system pings. Acquisition complete. Subject, Nyx. Price, 2,000 DEV. Balance, 47 DEV. The crystal begins to crack. The genre's second lead is about to wake up. The crystal shatters. The mist hits. Purple, cold, old. The witch's eyes open. Amber, luminous. 200 years of sleep, ended by a man with a system and no impulse control. She collapses. 200 years of stasis takes it out of you. Logan catches her. The genre appreciates the catch. Serafina does not. He lifts her. Carries her. The genre's protagonist carrying the unconscious witch out of the vault. The genre's first subject watching. The genre's dynamics are loading. Up the stairs. Through the kitchen. Past the unconscious guard. Out the back door. The genre's heist escape is on rails. The genre's protagonist does not look back. Outside. The courtyard is chaos. Craig's remaining guards are regrouping. Serafina counts. 6. She can do 6. She's already moving. The genre's combat engine has not cooled down. Logan reaches the perimeter wall, lays Nyx down behind it, draws Iron's sword, turns to cover Serafina's back. The genre's protagonist is not useless this time. The genre is generous. Serafina moves. The first guard drops. The second. The third. She's not using the awakened state. She doesn't need it. These guys are still practice. 4th guard gets past her, toward Logan, toward Nyx. Logan steps forward, iron sword up. The genre's protagonist fights. The genre's protagonist does not embarrass himself. Serafina drops the 5th. The 6th throws down his spear, runs. The genre's first villain's last guard has made a career decision. The genre approves. Serafina lets him go. She's not done yet. She walks to him. He's standing over the guard he dropped. They look at each other. The metric ticks. Then she sees Nyx. The metric ticks back down. The genre's economy is honest. The witch. She says it flat. Not a question. Logan nods. Doesn't explain. Doesn't justify. The genre's protagonist is learning when to shut up. He picks Nyx up again. Serafina takes point. They move. Out through the perimeter. Into the dead pines. Toward the cart. The genre's heist is over. The genre's retreat begins. They reach the cart. The horse is relieved. The horse has opinions about the unconscious woman. The horse is overruled. They load her into the back. Serafina takes the reins. Logan walks beside. 2 days back. Through the snow. Through the dead pines. Through the silence. The genre's retreat is quiet. The genre's dynamic is loading. First night camp. Same ravine, same fire, same bedrolls, different dynamic. Serafina takes first watch, voluntarily, without being asked, but she watches the witch too, not just the trees. Logan sleeps. Actually sleeps. The system's vigilance plus the night captain on watch equals the best rest he's had since the exile. The genre is generous to its protagonist, for now. Dawn, cold, snow on everything. The horse has escalated its opinions, the horse is overruled again, they keep moving. Second day. The trees thicken, the land rises, smoke on the horizon, Sovereign's Hall, home. The genre's protagonist has a home now, the genre is keeping it, for now. They descend. The cart rolls up to the door. The door opens. The fire is still burning. Logan said it before they left. The genre's protagonist plans ahead. The genre approves. He lays Nyx on the bed. The one bed. Serafina notices. Her violet eyes narrow. The genre's awkward prop from episode 1 has become the genre's territorial prop in episode 2. He doesn't explain. He takes the chair, gives her he looks around. There's no second bed, there's no second chair. There's just the witch in the bed and the night captain in the doorway. He gestures at the chair. You take the chair, I'll take the floor. Serafina stares at him. The genre's protagonist has offered the night captain a chair. The night captain does not know what to do with this. She takes the chair, sits, rigid, the iron collar stark. The witch on the bed, the protagonist on the floor. The genre's spatial problem is solved. The genre's territorial problem is loaded. He sleeps, actually sleeps. The floor is not comfortable. The genre's protagonist does not care. The genre's protagonist has been awake for 2 days. The genre's protagonist is out. Serafina watches. The witch, the fire, the protagonist, the door, the trees outside. The genre's night captain is on full alert. The genre's night captain has not been told to be. The genre's night captain just is. Sometime in the deep night, the witch stirs. A finger, a hand, a breath. The rune tattoos brighten a fraction. The genre's second lead is waking up. The genre's night captain notices. Morning, pale light through the windows. The fire is embers. The witch's eyes are open, amber, luminous, tracking the ceiling. She doesn't move, she's assessing. 200 years of stasis, then assessment. She sits up, slowly. The robe is pristine. The runes are pulsing. The mist is forming. She looks around the room, sees the night captain in the chair, sees the protagonist on the floor. She smiles. The smile is not reassuring. The smile is the smile of a woman who has been sealed in a vault for 2 centuries and has woken up in a room with a knight and a noble and a fire. The smile has opinions. She sees the iron collar on Serafina's throat. Her smile widens. She recognizes it. She recognizes the brand mark. She recognizes the night captain. The genre's second lead has done her homework. From inside a crystal. She slides off the bed, bare feet on the cold stone. The mist trails. She moves toward the protagonist, quiet. The night captain doesn't wake. The genre's second lead is quiet when she wants to be. She kneels beside him, studies his face, the scar, the messy black hair, the iron signet ring on his thumb. She leans close, sniffs him. The genre's second lead has opinions about how he smells. The genre is honest about its priorities. He wakes. Her face is 6 inches from his. Amber eyes, platinum hair, knowing smile. The genre's protagonist wakes up to the genre's second lead. The genre's protagonist does not panic. The genre's protagonist is built different. He says, "You're awake," she says. "You smell like him," he says. "Who?" She says, "The one who sealed me." The genre's cliffhanger has arrived. The genre's protagonist has questions. The genre's second lead has answers. The genre has episodes. Serafina's eyes snap open. The night captain wakes. She sees the witch kneeling over the protagonist. Her hand goes to her sword. The genre's territorial problem has detonated. The genre's episode is over. The genre's episode has done its job. Logan raises a hand. Don't. One word. Serafina freezes. The sword half drawn. The witch still kneeling. The genre's protagonist has spoken. The genre's night captain obeys. For now. He looks at Nyx. "Who sealed you?" She smiles. "Avarin." The genre's protagonist has just heard his family name from a 200-year-old witch's mouth. The genre's protagonist does not blink. The genre's protagonist files it. He sits up, slowly. The witch doesn't move. The night captain doesn't move. The genre's protagonist is the only one moving. The genre's protagonist says, "We'll talk in the morning." It is the morning. The genre's protagonist is stalling. The genre approves. He stands, walks to the door, opens it, steps into the snow, breathes. The cold is honest. The cold does not have opinions about his family. The cold does not have a 200-year-old agenda. The genre's protagonist needs a minute. The genre grants it. He says, "You're awake." She says, "You smell like him." He says, "Who?" She says, "The one who sealed me." The genre's cliffhanger has arrived. The genre's protagonist has questions. The genre's second lead has answers. The genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Previously, Logan bought a knight, killed a baron, broke a witch out of a 200-year vault, and now he has a witch on his bed and a knight in his chair and a sword half drawn. The genre is loading. Morning, cold light through the windows. The fire is embers. The witch is sitting on the bed. The knight is in the chair. The protagonist is outside. The protagonist is hiding. The genre's protagonist is honest about his limitations. He comes back in. He has to eventually. He has eggs. Blight beast eggs. From the cache outside. Breakfast is a peace offering. Breakfast is also a stall. The genre's protagonist is multidimensional. He cooks. The fire crackles. The eggs sizzle. The witch watches. The night watches. The protagonist cooks. The genre's protagonist is making breakfast for a woman he bought and a woman he freed. The genre's economy is honest. He serves 2 plates, one to the witch on the bed, one to the knight in the chair. He takes the floor. The genre's protagonist eats last. The genre's protagonist eats on the floor. The genre's protagonist is making a point. The point is unclear to everyone, including him. Nyx eats. Slowly, deliberately, watching him over the plate. The amber eyes half-lidded, the knowing smile. The genre's second lead is testing him. The genre's second lead has been testing him since she opened her eyes. She says, "You freed me." He says, "I bought you." She says, "Same thing." He says, "It isn't." She smiles wider. The genre's second lead has found a button. The genre's second lead is pressing it. She slides off the bed, bare feet on the cold stone. The mist trails. She walks toward him. The knight's hand goes to her sword. The witch doesn't stop. The witch has opinions about personal space. The witch's opinions are not the knight's opinions. She kneels beside him. Again, the same position as the morning, the same proximity, the same smile. The knight is standing now. The sword is half drawn. The genre's territorial problem is back. The genre's territorial problem did not go anywhere. Logan raises a hand. To both of them. Sit. One word. To both. The witch sits. On the floor beside him. The knight sits. In the chair. The sword sheathed. The genre's protagonist has commanded. Both have obeyed. For now. He eats. They eat. The fire crackles. The mist trails. The collar stark. The genre's breakfast has become the genre's standoff. The genre's standoff has become the genre's status quo. The genre has done this before. The genre will do this again. After breakfast, Seraphina speaks. "I will not share a roof with a witch." The same line from episode 1. The genre's knight captain is consistent. The genre's knight captain does not forget. He doesn't argue. He doesn't dismiss. He says, "Then we'll build her a tower." The same line. The genre's protagonist is also consistent. The genre's knight captain does not know what to do with this. Nyx laughs. Once, short, the amber eyes bright, the rune tattoos pulse. The genre's second lead has just heard the protagonist defend her housing situation. The genre's second lead has opinions. The genre's second lead is filing them. 3 stories. Slate roof. Rune carvings crawling up the exterior. Standing stones in a ring. A heavy iron and silver door. The witch's tower assembles itself in 15 seconds. Even Nyx's poker face cracks, slightly. The genre's second lead is impressed. The genre's second lead hates that she's impressed. The genre notes this. He looks at Nyx. "You said you can do resource research." She smiles. "I said many things." He says, "Can you?" She says, "For a price." The genre's second lead is a negotiator. The genre's protagonist expected this. He says, "What price?" She says, "A lab." He says, "That's the tower." She says, "Then we have an agreement." The genre's negotiation is fast. The genre's negotiation is honest. The genre's negotiation has happened. 3 days. They grind. Logan hunts. Seraphina patrols. Nyx researches. The system pays her 3 DEV per day for magical resource scanning. The genre's economy has a new income stream. The genre's economy is honest about why. Day 4. The counter hits 800. Logan grins. Seraphina notices. Nyx notices. The genre's protagonist's grin is now a known signal. The genre's protagonist's grin means the math has completed. He taps confirm. The system does its thing. Reality politely rearranges itself. Again. The genre's protagonist is getting used to this. The genre's protagonist should not get used to this. 3 stories. Slate roof. Rune carvings crawling up the exterior. Standing stones in a ring. A heavy iron and silver door. The witch's tower assembles itself in 15 seconds. Even Nyx's poker face cracks, slightly. Nyx walks into her tower. Bare feet on cold stone. The mist trailing. The runes on the walls pulsing in response to her. The genre's second lead has a home. The genre's second lead is claiming it. She walks the spiral stairs, slowly, her fingers trailing the wall, the runes brightening under her touch. The genre's second lead is reconnecting with her magic. The genre's second lead has been waiting 200 years for this. She reaches the top floor, the lab. The system has stocked it. Reagents, vials, scrolls, a central workbench, a large window, moonlight. The genre's second lead has a workspace. The genre's second lead has plans. She turns to the window, looks out at the Sovereign's Hall, the smoke from its chimney, the plain black banner, the protagonist down there, the knight down there. The genre's second lead is assessing from above. The genre's second lead has the high ground. The genre's second lead knows it. She says, "To no one, this will do." 2 words, the first private word she's spoken since waking. The genre's second lead has accepted her new situation. The genre's second lead has begun to scheme. The genre's second lead has the workspace to do it. Outside, Seraphina watches the tower, her hand on her sword, her violet eyes on the top window. The witch's silhouette visible. The genre's knight captain is also assessing. The genre's knight captain does not have the high ground. The genre's knight captain has a sword. The genre's knight captain considers this sufficient. 3 days. Nyx researches. The system pays. Logan hunts. Serafina patrols. The dynamic settles. The dynamic is loaded. The dynamic is about to be tested. Night. Logan is in the hall, alone. Serafina on patrol. The fire burning. The door opens. Nyx. The mist trailing. A small crystal vial in her hand. The genre's second lead has a delivery. The genre's second lead has been brewing. She walks in, doesn't ask, sets the vial on the table in front of him. A tea, she says, for your sleep. He looks at the vial. He looks at her. He looks at the vial. The genre's protagonist is not stupid. The genre's protagonist has a system. The system pings. Pheromone compound detected. Effect, emotional affiliation enhancement. Duration, 4 hours. Recommendation, do not consume. The genre's protagonist has been informed. The genre's second lead has been caught. The genre's second lead is not embarrassed. He says, you could have just asked. She says, where's the fun in that? He says, try again. She says, I will. She takes the vial back. She leaves. The genre's second lead has been warned. The genre's second lead has not been punished. The genre's protagonist is learning. She walks back to her tower, the vial in her hand, the mist trailing, the knowing smile. The genre's second lead has been caught and not punished. The genre's second lead has learned something. The genre's second lead has learned he doesn't punish. The genre's second lead will use this. The genre's second lead is already using this. Serafina returns from patrol, sees Nyx's footprints in the snow, leading to the hall, leading back to the tower. The genre's night captain tracks. The genre's night captain assesses. The genre's night captain has questions. She enters the hall. Logan is at the table, the fire burning. He looks up. She tried something, Serafina says. Not a question. He says yes. She says you didn't punish her. He says no. She stares. The genre's night captain does not understand. The genre's night captain wants to. He says, if I punish her, she'll hide it. If I don't, she'll try again where I can see. Serafina's eyes widen a fraction. The genre's night captain has just heard the protagonist's strategy. The genre's night captain did not expect this. The genre's night captain files it. She nods. Once, goes to her chair, sits, the iron collar stark, the sword across her knees. She doesn't speak. The genre's night captain has accepted the strategy. The genre's night captain does not like it. The genre's night captain will use it. 3 more days. The pattern repeats. Nyx tries a new compound. The system warns. Logan doesn't punish. Serafina watches. The genre's dynamic has become a laboratory. The genre's protagonist is the subject. The genre's second lead is the researcher. The genre's night captain is the auditor. Nyx's devotion ticks up. Slowly. The genre's economy is honest about why. The genre's second lead is being allowed to scheme openly. The genre's second lead has never been allowed this. The genre's second lead does not know what to do with it. The genre's second lead is figuring it out. Serafina's devotion ticks up too, slower. The genre's economy is honest about this too. The genre's night captain has been included in the strategy. The genre's night captain has never been included. The genre's night captain does not know what to do with it either. The genre's protagonist has 2 women, a hall, a tower, and a strategy. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist should not be fine with this. The genre's protagonist is fine with this anyway. And then the system interrupts. Red border. Loud. The genre's status quo has been disrupted. The genre's status quo is always disrupted. The genre's status quo is a lie. Frost Wyvern, Tier 2. The system has been scanning the mountains. The mountains have been scanning back. The mountains have found something. The mountains are sending it over. He calls them both. Serafina from the perimeter. Nyx from the tower. They come. They stand in the hall. The iron collar, the mist, the sword. The genre's harem has been convened. The genre's harem has a threat to discuss. The genre's harem does not agree on anything. Until now. He shows them the map, the wyvern, the ETA. Serafina's face goes professional. Nyx's face goes calculating. Both of them are assessing. Neither of them is leaving. The genre's harem has agreed on something. The genre's harem has agreed to stay. Serafina speaks first. I can tank it. With the awakened state. Nyx speaks second. I can nuke it. With the awakened state. Logan speaks last. Both. At the same time. The genre's protagonist has just proposed a combo. The genre's harem has just heard the plan. The genre's harem does not hate it. The system pings. DUA Devotion Pact available. Coast. 10 DEV. Effect. Simultaneous. Awakened. State on 2 subjects. Duration. 60 seconds. Confirm? The genre's combo has a price. The genre's combo has a confirmation. The genre's protagonist taps yes. They move. Outside. Into the snow. The 3 of them. The iron collar. The mist. The sword. The protagonist in the middle. The genre's harem has deployed. The genre's harem has a wyvern to greet. It comes. Through the dead pines, through the snow, through the sky, the frost wyvern, wings the size of sails, eyes of ice crystal, breath of frozen death. The genre's Tier 2 threat has arrived. The genre's Tier 2 threat is bigger than the genre expected. Serafina steps forward, The sword comes up. Now, she says. The genre's protagonist taps the pact. Both women light up. The genre's first combo has begun. Seraphina charges. The wyvern turns. The breath comes. Ice. Cold. The genre's knight captain doesn't care. The genre's knight captain is gold-ringed. The genre's knight captain is faster. She hits the wyvern. The sword bites. The wyvern screams. The ice crystal eyes shatter. The wyvern thrashes. Seraphina holds on. The genre's knight captain has become the genre's anchor. The genre's knight captain is fine with this. Nyx raises her hands. The mist goes black. The runes go solid gold. The genre's second lead is casting. The genre's second lead has been waiting 200 years for this. The genre's second lead is not wasting it. She releases. A lance of black flame. It hits the wyvern. The wyvern screams again. The ice crystal eyes are gone. The mottled scales are black. The wyvern is dying. The genre's combo has worked. The genre's combo is devastating. The wyvern falls. The ground shakes. The snow swirls. The packed glow fades. Both women drop to one knee. The combo has a cost. The combo has been paid. The genre's first combo has worked. The genre's first combo will be used again. Logan reaches them. Both. He touches Seraphina's shoulder. He touches Nyx's shoulder. Both. The genre's protagonist does not play favorites. The genre's protagonist does not have to. The genre's protagonist has them both kneeling. He says, "Good job." 2 syllables. To both. The same line from episode 1. The genre's protagonist is consistent. The genre's economy responds. Both metrics tick. The genre's combo has a bonus. He helps them up. Both. The walk back to the hall is slow. The wyvern's body steams in the snow. The system auto-loots it. The genre's economy is generous with tier 2 threats. The genre's economy has opinions about wyverns. Inside, the fire, the warmth. Seraphina collapses in the chair. Nyx collapses on the bed. Logan takes the floor. The genre's spatial problem has been suspended. The genre's spatial problem will return. The genre's spatial problem is patient. Hours later, the fire low. Nyx stirs. She looks at Seraphina, asleep in the chair, the iron collar stark, the brand mark visible. The genre's second lead has an opportunity. The genre's second lead has been waiting for this. She raises one hand. The mist forms. Purple, cold. She whispers words in a language that hasn't been spoken in 200 years. The mist drifts towards Seraphina, wraps around the iron collar, the brand mark flares. Seraphina stirs. The genre's second lead is hexing. The genre's second lead has been hexing. The genre's second lead is hexing now. The hex lands. The brand mark dims. Seraphina's face relaxes. The hex is subtle. The hex is long-term. The hex is the genre's second lead's first real move. The genre's second lead has made it. The genre's second lead is not done. She lies back down, closes her eyes. The mist fades. The runes dim. The genre's second lead sleeps. The genre's second lead has been hexing. The genre's second lead will hex again. The genre's second lead has the workspace. Morning. Logan wakes. The system has a notification. Anomaly detected. Subject Seraphina Voss. Minor hex signature. Source, subject Nyx. Recommendation, confront or monitor. The genre's protagonist has been informed. The genre's protagonist has a choice. He doesn't confront. He monitors. He doesn't tell Seraphina. He doesn't tell Nyx he knows. The genre's protagonist is playing a longer game. The genre's protagonist has learned from the pheromone. The genre's protagonist is learning. The genre's protagonist is dangerous. Seraphina wakes. Doesn't startle. Her hand goes to her throat, to the collar, to the brand mark. She feels something. Almost. She looks at Nyx, asleep on the bed, the knowing smile and sleep. The genre's knight captain suspects. The genre's knight captain does not know. The genre's knight captain will watch. The system pings. Celebratory gold border. TI Year 4. You unlocked. Requirement met. 3 subjects above 50%. Devotion. Triggered. Deal pack combo. New acquisitions available. Tap to browse. The genre's economy has leveled up. The genre's roster is about to expand. The genre's harem is about to grow. He taps. The shop opens. Tier 4. Prices in the thousands. The portrait's glowing. He scrolls. Past warriors, past mages, past assassins, and then, a portrait, striped ears, golden eyes, fangs. The genre's third lead has been announced. Raksha, Beastkin Princess, captured royalty from a rival tribe. The genre's third lead has a price, 3,000 DEV. The genre's protagonist has 537. The math is not his friend. The math has never been his friend. The math will never be his friend. He reads the dossier. Raksha, Tigerkin, princess of the Iron Maw tribe, captured in a border raid, held in the Beastkin slave pen south of the frontier. Note, tribe has sent a warband to retrieve her. Note, warband has crossed the frontier. The genre's next episode has been announced. The genre's next episode has been announced loudly. He closes the shop. He doesn't tell them. Not yet. The genre's protagonist has learned to wait. The genre's protagonist has learned to plan. The genre's protagonist has 14 days. The genre's protagonist will use them. He stands, walks to the door, opens it, steps into the snow. The cold is honest. The cold does not have a warband. The cold does not have a hex. The cold does not have a price tag. The genre's protagonist needs a minute. The genre grants it. Again. He looks at the tower, the top window, the purple glow, the witch up there, scheming, hexing. The genre's second lead has been busy. The genre's protagonist has let her. The genre's protagonist has plans for this. He looks at the hall, the chimney smoke, the plain black banner, the knight inside, the iron collar, the brand mark with a hex on it. The genre's knight captain has been compromised. The genre's protagonist has not told her. The genre's protagonist has plans for this too. He looks at the mountains, the jagged peaks, the beastkin borderlands beyond, the warband, 14 days. The genre's protagonist has a deadline. The genre's protagonist has a target. The genre's protagonist has a tigerkin princess to acquire before the warband arrives. The genre's protagonist has work. He says, to no one, we've got work. The same line, the third time. The genre's protagonist is consistent. The genre's loop is closing. The genre's next episode has been announced. The genre has done its job. The genre will do it again. Inside, the witch and the knight do not know about the warband. Inside, the witch and the knight do not know about the princess. Inside, the witch and the knight have their own problems. The genre's harem has been loaded. The genre's harem has not been told. The genre's harem will find out. The genre's harem will have opinions. The system pings one more time. A small notification. Notice, Beastkin Warband detected. Estimated contact, 14 days. Recommendation, prepare. The genre's protagonist has been reminded. The genre's protagonist has a countdown. The genre's protagonist has work. The genre's episode is over. The genre's episode has done its job. Next episode. The warband is coming. The princess is in the pens. The harem doesn't know. The protagonist has 14 days. The genre has opinions about all of this. The genre will share them. The genre never shuts up. Spoiler, it goes wrong. Spoiler, it goes right. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist gets a tiger. Spoiler, the genre's harem gets a problem. Spoiler, the genre's audience gets an episode. Spoiler, the genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Previously, Logan has a knight, a witch, a hall, and a tower. He also has a 14-day countdown until a beastkin warband arrives looking for a princess he hasn't bought yet. The genre is generous with its problems. Day 1 of 14. Logan is in the hall. The fire, the table, the map. The genre's protagonist is planning. The genre's protagonist has a deadline. The genre's protagonist does not like deadlines. He calls them, both, the iron collar, the mist, the sword. They come, they stand. The genre's harem has been convened. Again, the genre's harem is getting convened fatigue. He shows them the map. The warband, 30 warriors, 14 days. Seraphina's face goes professional. Nyx's face goes calculating. Neither of them asks about the princess. Neither of them knows about the princess. The genre's protagonist has not told them about the princess. Seraphina speaks first. 30. I can hold 30. Nyx speaks second. I can slow 30. Logan speaks last. We don't fight them. We negotiate. The genre's harem stares at him. The genre's harem did not expect this. The genre's protagonist is learning. Seraphina's eyes narrow. Negotiate with beasts. She says it flat, not a question. Logan says, with people. The correction lands. Seraphina's jaw tightens. The iron collar stark. The genre's knight captain has been corrected. The genre's knight captain files it. Nyx laughs. Once. Short. Negotiation. How novel. The amber eyes bright. The rune tattoos pulse. The genre's second lead has opinions about negotiation. The genre's second lead has opinions about everything. The genre's second lead is filing them all. Logan ignores the laugh. We need information. Scout the border. Find their camp. Find their leader. He looks at Seraphina. She nods. Once. The genre's knight captain has her orders. The genre's knight captain is moving. He looks at Nyx. Wards. Around the compound. Full perimeter. If they have a scout, I want to know. She smiles. For a price, he says. The lab is the price. She nods. Slowly. The genre's negotiation is fast. They split. Seraphina to the perimeter, Nyx to the tower, Logan to the table. The genre's protagonist has a plan. The genre's protagonist has not shared all of it. The genre's protagonist has his reasons. The genre's protagonist always has his reasons. Day 3. Seraphina returns from scout. Snow on her armor, blood on her sword, not hers. The genre's knight captain has met a beastkin patrol. The genre's knight captain has opinions. The genre's knight captain shares them. 8. Patrol, 4 hours south. She says it flat. Military. Logan nods. Camp? She shakes her head. Not yet. They're moving. Fast. Looking for something. The genre's knight captain doesn't know what. The genre's protagonist does. The genre's protagonist says nothing. Day 5. The system pings. COU down 7. Orange border. The countdown is half gone. The genre's protagonist has made progress. The genre's protagonist has not made enough. The genre's protagonist is honest about this. Day 6. Nyx's wards are complete. The compound is wrapped in invisible magical tripwires. Anything crosses the perimeter, the system knows. The genre's second lead has delivered. The genre's second lead has opinions about the fee. The genre's second lead always has opinions about the fee. Day 8, Serafina finds the camp, 20 miles south, a ravine, hide tents, 30 warriors, and at the center, arguing with the chief, a tigerkin woman, striped ears, golden eyes, fangs. The genre's third lead has been located. The genre's protagonist has been informed. Serafina reports. Logan listens. Nyx listens. The genre's harem is briefed. The genre's harem now knows about the princess. The genre's harem did not know about the princess before. The genre's harem has questions. The genre's harem does not ask them, yet. Logan shows them the dossier. Raksha, Beastkin Princess. Tier 4, the warband is hers. She's not a prisoner, she's the leader. The genre's harem processes this. The genre's harem recalibrates. The genre's harem has new questions. The genre's harem still does not ask them. Logan says, she's not a target, she's a recruit. The genre's harem stares. The genre's harem did not expect this. The genre's protagonist is not buying the princess. The genre's protagonist is recruiting her. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem does not share them, yet. Day 10. Logan rides south, alone. The genre's protagonist has decided. The genre's harem did not approve. The genre's harem did not disapprove. The genre's harem watched him go. The genre's harem has opinions about solo rides. The genre's harem will share them later. He finds a position, overlooking the camp. Daylight. He doesn't hide. He walks his horse down the ridge, into the camp, unarmed, hands visible. The genre's protagonist has lost his mind. The genre is generous like that. The Beastkin warriors swarm. Spears, claws, fangs. Logan doesn't draw, doesn't flinch, says, I'm here to talk to your princess. The genre's protagonist has just announced himself to 30 armed tigerkin. The genre's protagonist is built different. Silence. Then a voice. Female. Feral. Who are you? Logan turns. Raksha. Stripped ears flat. Golden eyes blazing. Fangs visible. The genre's third lead has met the protagonist. The genre's third lead is not impressed. Yet. Raksha doesn't wait. She launches. Claws first. Fast. The genre's third lead is faster than the genre's protagonist expected. The genre's protagonist parries. Barely. The genre's protagonist is in trouble. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist would not have it any other way. Raksha laughs. Once, sharp. You have a horse and a sword. I have 30 warriors. You are not making anyone a queen. Logan says, I have a system. You have a tribe that's about to get slaughtered by the crown. The genre's protagonist has just named the real enemy. The genre's third lead processes this. Raksha's ears perk. Forward. Interested. The crown. Logan says, the crown has a warband of its own. Coming for the frontier. Coming for you. Coming for me. The genre's protagonist has shared intelligence. The genre's third lead has received it. The genre's third lead is recalibrating. Raksha studies him. The scar, the coat, the signet ring, the horse. She says, you're a noble. He says, exiled. She says, why should I trust an exiled noble? He says, you shouldn't, but you should duel me for the answer. Raksha grins. Fangs. A duel. You and me. No magic, no system, just steel and claws. Logan nods. If I win, you hear me out, all of it, the plan, the crown, the future, she says. And if I win, he says, you get my horse, my sword, and my head. The camp clears a space. The warriors form a circle, snow churned, breath misting. The genre's duel is about to begin. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered, outmatched, and committed. The genre's protagonist would not have it any other way. Raksha doesn't wait, she launches. Claws first, fast. The genre's third lead is faster than the genre's protagonist expected. The genre's protagonist parries. Barely. The genre's protagonist is in trouble. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. She's stronger. She's faster. She has claws. He has a sword and a plan. The plan, survive. The plan, let her tire. The plan, wait for the opening. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist has learned patience from a knight. 3 exchanges. 4, 5. She's not tiring. The genre's third lead has endurance. The genre's protagonist does not. The genre's protagonist needs the opening. The genre's protagonist needs it now. The genre's protagonist sees it. He doesn't cut her. He could. He doesn't. He flats the blade. Pommel to her gut. Not enough to kill. Enough to drop. Raksha folds. The genre's protagonist has won. The genre's protagonist did not bleed her. The genre's third lead has noticed. Raksha looks up. Golden eyes wide. Fangs hidden. She expected death. She got mercy. The genre's third lead does not know what to do with this. The genre's third lead is recalibrating. The genre's third lead is beginning to imprint. The genre's third lead does not know this yet. He extends a hand. She stares at it. A noble's hand, leather glove, iron ring, the hand of the man who just beat her, the hand of the man who just spared her. She takes it. The genre's third lead has accepted the gesture. The genre's third lead has begun the fall. He pulls her up. She's taller than him. The genre's protagonist notices. The genre's protagonist does not comment. The genre's third lead notices him noticing. The genre's third lead does not comment either. The genre's dynamic is loading. The genre's dynamic is patient. He releases her hand, steps back, sheathes the sword, says, "Now you hear me out." She nods, once. The genre's third lead has agreed. The genre's third lead has been won. The genre's protagonist has 14 days. The genre's protagonist has used 3. They sit by her campfire, hide tent behind them, warriors watching. The genre's protagonist and the genre's third lead are negotiating. The genre's harem does not know about this. The genre's harem will have opinions. The genre's harem always has opinions. He tells her everything. The system, the hall, the tower, the knight, the witch, the crown coming, the war. The genre's protagonist has shared everything. The genre's third lead listens. The genre's third lead does not interrupt. The genre's third lead is smarter than she looks. The genre's third look is deceiving. She says, "A witch." He says, "Yes." She says, "A knight." He says, "Yes." She says, "And you want a tiger?" He says, "I want an ally." The correction lands. The genre's third lead processes. The genre's third lead does not hate the correction. The genre's third lead does not hate this. She says, "The crown, how many?" He says, 1,000, maybe more. She says, "And you have a knight, a witch, and a system." He says, "And a tiger." If she says yes. The genre's protagonist has just proposed. The genre's third lead has just heard. The genre's third lead is amused. The genre's third lead is interested. The genre's third lead is loading. She says, "I need to see it. The hall, the tower, the witch, the knight. Then I decide." Logan nods. "Come, tomorrow, alone, or with guards. Your choice." She says, "Alone. I am not afraid." The genre's third lead has courage. The genre's third lead has more courage than sense. The genre's third lead is perfect for this genre. He rides back, north, through the snow, through the dead pines. The genre's protagonist has won a duel and pitched an alliance. The genre's protagonist has not acquired the princess. The genre's protagonist has invited her. The genre's protagonist is learning a new approach. He arrives. Serafina is at the perimeter. Nyx is at the tower window, both watching him ride in, both noting he's alone, both noting he's alive, both noting he's grinning. The genre's harem has opinions about the grin. The genre's harem will share them. He dismounts, walks to them, says, "She's coming tomorrow." Serafina says, "Who?" He says, "The princess." Nyx's amber eyes flare. Serafina's violet eyes narrow. The genre's harem has been informed. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem shares them. Serafina, you invited a beastkin princess to the hall. Nyx, a princess. How delightful. Both flat, both loaded. The genre's harem has converged on disapproval. The genre's harem has converged for the first time. The genre's protagonist notes this. The genre's protagonist files it. Logan says, "She arrives tomorrow. We will be civil. We will be professional. We will not hex her. We will not challenge her. We will hear her out." He looks at Serafina. He looks at Nyx. Both nod. Neither means it. The genre's protagonist knows this. The genre's protagonist accepts this. Dawn. The next day. The genre's protagonist is up. The hall is clean. The fire is burning. The sword is sheathed. The mist is suppressed. The iron collar is stark. The genre's harem has prepared. The genre's harem has not approved. The genre's harem has prepared anyway. She arrives, alone, as promised, on foot, through the snow. The genre's third lead has walked 20 miles to keep her word. The genre's third lead has more courage than sense. The genre's third lead is perfect for this genre. The genre's third lead is here. She reaches the door, doesn't knock, walks in. The genre's third lead does not wait for invitations. The genre's third lead enters. The genre's harem is inside. The iron collar, the mist, the sword, the protagonist. The genre's third lead takes them all in. The genre's third lead is not impressed, yet. She sees the iron collar on Serafina's throat. Her ears flatten. She sees the brand mark. Her ears flatten more. She sees the sword across Serafina's knees. Her ears flatten completely. The genre's third lead has assessed the knight captain. The genre's third lead has opinions. The genre's third lead does not share them, yet. She sees Nyx, the mist, the runes, the amber eyes, the robe. The genre's third lead has assessed the witch. The genre's third lead's tail lashes. The genre's third lead has more opinions. The genre's third lead still does not share them. The genre's third lead is disciplined. The genre's third lead is also feral. The genre's third lead is both. She looks at Logan. "These are your allies." He nods. "Yes," she says, "a slave and a witch." He says, "A knight and a researcher." The correction lands. The genre's third lead processes. The genre's third lead does not hate the correction. The genre's third lead does not hate this either. She says, "Show me the tower." Logan nods. They walk. Serafina watches. Nyx follows. The genre's harem is in motion. The genre's third lead is being given the tour. The genre's harem has opinions about the tour. The genre's harem follows anyway. Inside the tower. The ground floor. the hearth, the stairs, the rune carvings. Rakshay's ears perk, she can feel the magic. The genre's third lead is sensitive to it. The genre's third lead does not like it. The genre's third lead does not hate it. The genre's third lead is assessing. Up the stairs, the second floor, the bookshelves, the desk, the scrolls. Rakshay runs a claw along a shelf. The genre's third lead has opinions about books. The genre's third lead does not share them. The genre's third lead is literate. The genre's third lead is more than she appears. Top floor, the lab, the workbench, the rune circles, the large window. Rakshay stops. The genre's third lead has seen the lab. The genre's third lead has seen where the witch works. The genre's third lead has opinions. The genre's third lead says, powerful. The genre's third lead has assessed. They return to the hall. The fire, the table, the genre's harem assembled. Raksha stands at the door. She says, I will consider it. Logan nods. The genre's protagonist has heard this. The genre's protagonist expected this. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist has learned patience. She leaves, walks back into the snow, alone, 20 miles. The genre's third lead has walked 40 miles today. The genre's third lead has more courage than sense. The genre's third lead is perfect for this genre. The genre's third lead is considering. The door closes. Serafina speaks. She will betray you. Nick speaks. She will try. Logan speaks. She will join. The genre's harem has spoken. The genre's harem has disagreed. The genre's protagonist has decided. The genre's protagonist is patient. 3 days pass. The system pings. County down 1. Red border. The warband is a day out. The genre's protagonist has run out of time. The genre's protagonist has not heard from Raksha. The genre's protagonist is honest about this. The genre's protagonist is also patient. And then, a sound. Outside. The genre's protagonist is at the door. The genre's harem is behind him. The door opens. Snow, dead pines, and a figure. Walking, alone, staggering, wounded. The genre's third lead has returned. The genre's third lead is bleeding. The genre's third lead has been betrayed. Logan runs into the snow, catches her before she falls. The genre's protagonist has caught the princess. The genre's protagonist has not bought her. The genre's protagonist has earned her. The genre's protagonist carries her inside. The genre's harem parts. Inside, the fire, the table. He lays her on the bed, the one bed. The genre's spatial problem has returned. The genre's spatial problem is now a medical problem. The genre's spatial problem is patient. The genre's protagonist does not care. The genre's protagonist is working. Nyx moves. To the workbench, to the reagents. The genre's second lead has become the medic. The genre's second lead has skills the genre did not know about. The genre's second lead has many skills. The genre's second lead is using them. The genre's harem has converged on the patient. Serafina moves. To the door, to the perimeter. The genre's night captain has become the guard. The genre's night captain expects the betrayers. The genre's night captain will be ready. The genre's night captain is always ready. The genre's harem has converged on defense. Logan works. On the wound. With Nyx, the genre's protagonist has become the nurse. The genre's protagonist is out of his depth. The genre's protagonist does not care. The genre's protagonist is learning. The genre's protagonist is always learning. She says, my father. Logan says, I know. She says, he sent warriors to bring me back. I refused. Logan says, I know. The genre's third lead has been betrayed by her father. The genre's third lead has been wounded by her tribe. The genre's third lead has nowhere else to go. The genre's third lead has the protagonist. He says, you're safe here. She says, the warband. He says, I will handle the warband. She says, 30 warriors. He says, I have a knight and a witch. She says, and a system. He nods. The genre's third lead has heard. The genre's third lead has seen. The genre's third lead has decided. She says, yes. One word. The genre's third lead has agreed. The genre's third lead has joined. The genre's protagonist has earned an ally. The genre's protagonist has not bought her. The genre's protagonist has earned her. The genre's protagonist is learning a new approach. The system pings. Night. The warband is a day out. Raksha is asleep, healing. Serafina is on watch. Nyx is in the tower. Logan is at the table. The fire is low. And then, a sound. Outside. Not the warband. Something else. Someone else. The genre's protagonist looks up. A knock. Soft. At the door. Serafina's sword comes up. Logan raises a hand. Wait. He walks to the door, opens it. Snow, wind, and a woman, cloaked, hooded, shivering. The genre's fourth lead has arrived. The genre's fourth lead is pretending to be a refugee. The genre's protagonist does not believe her. The genre's protagonist opens the door anyway. She says, please, I am cold. I am lost. I have nowhere. The genre's protagonist has heard this before. The genre's protagonist has been this before. The genre's protagonist does not believe her. The genre's protagonist says, come in. The genre's protagonist is keeping enemies close. She enters. Serafina's eyes track her. The sword does not lower. The iron collar stark. The genre's knight captain has assessed. The genre's knight captain does not believe her either. The genre's knight captain says nothing. The genre's knight captain watches. Nyx descends. From the tower, the mist trailing, the amber eyes half-lidded. The genre's second lead has also assessed. The genre's second lead also does not believe her. The genre's second lead says, welcome. The tone is wrong. The tone is predatory. The genre's second lead is amused. Logan gives her a blanket, a seat by the fire, a plate of food. The genre's protagonist is generous. The genre's protagonist is also testing. The genre's protagonist watches her eat. The genre's protagonist watches her hands. The genre's protagonist watches her eyes. The genre's fourth lead is being assessed. She eats, slowly, performed. The genre's fourth lead is good. The genre's fourth lead is professional. The genre's fourth lead is also not good enough. The genre's protagonist has a system. The system has dossiers. The system pings. Logan reads the alert. Does not react, does not confront, files it. The genre's protagonist has learned. The genre's protagonist monitors. The genre's protagonist lets the infiltrator in. The genre's protagonist keeps enemies close. The genre's protagonist has plans for this. She finishes eating, looks up, thank you, I will go. Logan says, stay, the night. The warband is out there, it is not safe. She hesitates, performs, agrees. The genre's fourth lead has been invited to stay. The genre's fourth lead has accepted. The genre's fourth lead is inside. The genre's protagonist has her where he wants her. The genre's harem converges. In the corner, whispering, the iron collar, the mist, the sword. They have assessed. They have all assessed. They have all reached the same conclusion. They have not been told. They do not need to be told. The genre's harem knows. Logan watches them, watches her, watches the fire. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist has a knight, a witch, a princess, and an infiltrator. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist is playing a long game. Morning. The warband is hours out. Raksha is awake. Wounded but awake, she sees Lyran refugeed, her ears flatten, her golden eyes narrow. The genre's third lead has assessed. The genre's third lead has reached the same conclusion. The genre's third lead says nothing. The genre's third lead is learning discipline. Logan calls them, all. The iron collar, the mist, the sword, the claws, the performed shiver. The genre's full house has been convened. The genre's protagonist has a warband to address. The genre's protagonist has an infiltrator to manage. The genre is honest about this. He says, the warband is hours out, 30 warriors. We do not fight, we talk. I will go out, alone. Raksha, you stay. You are wounded. Serafina, you hold the perimeter. Nyx, you hold the wards. Lyran, he looks at her, you stay inside. Lyran looks up, performs surprise. Me? Logan says, you, with the princess. You will keep her safe. The genre's protagonist has just given the infiltrator a job. The genre's protagonist has just tested the infiltrator. The genre's protagonist has just put the infiltrator with the princess. The genre's fourth lead is being tested. Lyran nods. Of course, I will keep her safe. The performance is good. The performance is professional. The performance is also wasted. The genre's protagonist knows. The genre's harem knows. The genre's fourth lead does not know they know. The genre's fourth lead is inside. The genre's fourth lead is being managed. Logan walks out, into the snow, alone, to meet the warband. The genre's protagonist has done this before. The genre's protagonist will do this again. The genre's protagonist is committed. The genre's harem watches him go. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem always has opinions. The genre's harem will share them. The genre's harem never shuts up. Inside, Lyran sits with Raksha, the princess wounded, the infiltrator performing. The genre's fourth lead has her job. The genre's fourth lead has her cover. The genre's fourth lead has her handler. The genre's fourth lead has a report to make. The genre's fourth lead waits. Hours pass. The fire crackles. The wind howls. The genre's harem waits. The genre's fourth lead waits. The genre's protagonist is out there. The genre's protagonist is talking. The genre's protagonist is committed. The genre's harem does not know what he's saying. The genre's harem trusts him. The genre's fourth lead does not trust him. And then, the door opens. Logan, walking, alone, unharmed. The genre's protagonist has returned. The genre's protagonist is grinning. The genre's protagonist has handled the warband. The genre's protagonist will not say how. The genre has episodes. Serafina stares. The warband, he says, gone. Nyx stares. Gone, he says, negotiated. Raksha stares from the bed. My father, he says, will not bother you again. The genre's protagonist has handled it. The genre's protagonist will not say how. The genre's harem has questions. The genre's harem does not ask. Yet. Lyran stares too, performs surprise, performs relief. The genre's fourth lead has filed everything. The genre's fourth lead has a report. The genre's fourth lead will send it. The genre's fourth lead has a handler. The genre's fourth lead is being managed. The genre's fourth lead does not know this. The genre's fourth lead will learn. Night, the fire, the table, the genre's full house assembled, the knight, the witch, the princess, the infiltrator, the protagonist. The genre's harem has grown. The genre's problems have grown. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist is always fine with this. Outside, the snow, the dead pines, the distant mountains, and somewhere, south, a scout, crown inquisitor, reporting, the genre's fifth threat has been announced. The genre's protagonist does not know this yet. The genre's protagonist will learn. The genre's protagonist has a system. The genre's protagonist has time. The genre's protagonist has episodes. Next episode, the warband is handled, the princess is acquired, the infiltrator is inside, the crown is coming, the genre's protagonist has a full house and a full plate, the genre's harem has opinions, the genre's harem always has opinions, the genre will share them, the genre never shuts up. Spoiler, the infiltrator breaks. Spoiler, the harem unites. Spoiler, the crown has no idea what's coming. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist has a plan. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist always has a plan. Spoiler, the genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Previously, Logan has a knight, a witch, a princess, and an infiltrator who doesn't know she's been made. The warband is handled. The crown is coming. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist is always fine with this. Night. 2 weeks since Liren arrived. The fire, the table. The genre's harem settled into routine. The knight on watch. The witch in the tower. The princess healing. The infiltrator performing. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist is monitoring. The genre's protagonist is waiting for the handler. And then, a sound. Outside, not the wind, not the snow, a signal, a bird call, performed, badly. Liren's head snaps up, performed surprise, performed confusion. The genre's fourth lead has heard her handler. The genre's fourth lead has a meeting. The genre's fourth lead does not know she's been seen. Liren stands. I need air. I will be back. The performance is good. The performance is professional. The performance is also wasted. The genre's protagonist nods. The genre's protagonist lets her go. The genre's protagonist has plans for this. The genre's harem has plans for this. The genre's harem has converged on the plan. She walks out, into the snow, toward the tree line. The genre's fourth lead has a meeting. The genre's fourth lead does not know she's being followed. The genre's fourth lead does not know the witch's wards have tracked her. The genre's fourth lead does not know the night captain is in the shadows. She reaches the tree line, a figure, cloaked, waiting, the handler, the crown inquisitor. The genre's fifth character has arrived. The genre's fifth character has orders. The genre's fifth character has no idea what he's walking into. The genre's harem is in the shadows. The genre's harem is patient. He speaks first. Report. She speaks. Fast. Professional. The hall. The tower. The knight. The witch. The princess. The protagonist. She reports everything. She does not know she's reporting to an audience. The genre's harem is in the shadows. The genre's harem is listening. The genre's harem is filing. The handler listens, nods, reaches into his coat, produces a vial, small, crystal, green liquid, wax stopper. He hands it to her. Tonight, in his drink, he will not wake. The genre's fourth lead has received her order. The genre's fourth lead has received a poison. The genre's fourth lead has a choice. She takes it, nods, hides it in her cloak. The handler leaves, into the snow, gone. The genre's fourth lead stands alone, the vial in her cloak, the order in her head. The genre's harem is still in the shadows. The genre's harem has heard everything. The genre's harem has plans. She walks back, toward the hall. The genre's fourth lead has a job. The genre's fourth lead has a vial. The genre's fourth lead has no idea the harem has converged. The genre's harem is in the hall. The genre's harem is waiting. The genre's harem has heard. The genre's harem has decided. She enters. The fire, the table, the knight, the witch, the princess, the protagonist, all watching her. All in the same positions, all with the same expressions. The genre's fourth lead notices. The genre's fourth lead performs normalcy. The genre's fourth lead is bad at this. The genre's fourth lead is about to learn how bad. Logan says, "Good walk." She says, "Yes, cold." He says, "Sit, have tea." She sits. The tea is poured. The genre's protagonist is offering tea. The genre's protagonist is testing. The genre's protagonist knows. The genre's harem knows. The genre's fourth lead does not know they know. The genre's fourth lead is being managed. She drinks the tea. The genre's fourth lead is performing. The genre's fourth lead is waiting for night. The genre's fourth lead has a vial. The genre's fourth lead has an order. The genre's fourth lead has no idea the harem is waiting too. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem outlasts everything. Hours pass, the fire low, the night deep. The genre's protagonist yawns, stands, I will sleep. He walks to his bedroll, lies down, closes his eyes. The genre's protagonist is pretending. The genre's protagonist is awake. The genre's protagonist is waiting. The genre's harem is waiting. The genre's fourth lead is about to move. She waits, counts breaths, moves, slowly, toward the hearth, toward the pot, the vial in her hand. The genre's fourth lead is committed. The genre's fourth lead is moving. The genre's fourth lead is about to learn. The genre's harem has not moved. The genre's harem does not need to move. The genre's harem has wards. And then, the ward detection alert. Purple border, pulsing. The system has detected the poison. The witch's wards have triggered. The genre's second lead has been waiting. The genre's second lead is amused. The genre's second lead is not surprised. The genre's fourth lead is frozen. The firelight shifts. The shadows move. The genre's harem has converged. Serafina, from the chair, sword drawn. Nyx, from the stairs, mist blazing. Raksha, from the bed, claws extended, all three, around Liren. The genre's harem has the infiltrator. The genre's harem has not been told. The genre's harem knew. Logan sits up, opens his eyes, watches, does not speak, does not move. The genre's protagonist is letting the harem handle it. The genre's protagonist has been waiting for this. The genre's protagonist has plans. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist prefers it this way. Serafina speaks first. You will not poison him. Flat, cold, the iron collar stark. The sword at Liren's throat. The genre's knight captain has spoken. The genre's knight captain does not repeat. The genre's fourth lead does not move. Nyx speaks second. You will not leave this room. Languid, predatory. The mist wrapping around Liren's wrists, the rune tattoos blazing. The genre's second lead has spoken. The genre's second lead is amused. The genre's fourth lead does not move. Raksha speaks third. You will not survive the night. For all. Direct. The claws at Liren's neck, the golden eyes blazing. The genre's third lead has spoken. The genre's third lead does not bluff. The genre's fourth lead does not move. The genre's fourth lead cannot move. Logan speaks last. Don't kill her. 3 words. The genre's protagonist has commanded. The genre's harem obeys. The sword lowers. The mist loosens. The claws retract. The genre's fourth lead is alive. The genre's fourth lead does not know why. The genre's fourth lead is about to learn. He stands, walks to her, slowly. The genre's protagonist is approaching the infiltrator. The genre's harem parts. The genre's protagonist stands before her. The genre's protagonist does not speak. The genre's protagonist waits. The genre's fourth lead is on her knees. The genre's fourth lead is broken. The genre's fourth lead does not know it yet. He says, who sent you? She says, the crown. He says, why? She says, to kill you. He says, why? She says, you are a threat. He says, you are a threat. She says, the frontier, the system, the subjects, the crown knows. The genre's protagonist has been informed. The genre's protagonist is not surprised. The genre's protagonist files it. He says, the vial. She holds it out. He takes it, examines it. The system pings. Poison identified. Silent death. Lethal. No antidote. 1 set. 4 hours. The genre's protagonist has the poison. The genre's protagonist has the name. The genre's protagonist files it. The genre's protagonist has plans for this. He says, you will stay. You will not be harmed. You will be watched. She stares. The genre's fourth lead has been sentenced. The genre's fourth lead expected death. The genre's fourth lead got surveillance. The genre's fourth lead does not understand. The genre's fourth lead will understand. The genre's harem will explain. He turns to the harem. She is not to leave this room. She is not to be harmed. She is to watch. The genre's harem nods. All 3. The genre's harem has orders. The genre's harem has plans. The genre's harem has the infiltrator. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem is forever. Day 1. The genre's harem takes shifts. Watching Liren, sitting with her, not speaking, not harming, just watching. The genre's fourth lead is on her knees. The genre's fourth lead has not moved. The genre's fourth lead has not eaten. The genre's fourth lead is waiting for death. The genre's fourth lead is not getting death. The genre's fourth lead is getting something worse. Day 2. Serafina sits with her. Does not speak, sharpens the sword, the whetstone's rhythm, the iron collar stark. The genre's knight captain is patient. The genre's knight captain is always patient. The genre's fourth lead is cracking. The genre's fourth lead does not know what to do with patience. The genre's fourth lead has never been shown patience. Day 2. Night. Nyx descends, sits with her, does not speak, mixes something in a mortar, the mist trailing, the rune tattoos pulsing. The genre's second lead is patient. The genre's second lead is always patient. The genre's fourth lead is cracking more. The genre's fourth lead does not know what the witch is mixing. The genre's fourth lead is afraid. Day 3. Raksha sits with her, does not speak, cleans her claws, the golden eyes tracking, the fangs visible. The genre's third lead is patient. The genre's third lead is also feral. The genre's fourth lead is terrified. The genre's fourth lead does not know which is worse. The genre's fourth lead is cracking open. And then, She breaks. The genre's fourth lead has broken. The hazel eyes spill. The scar stark. The shoulders shake. The genre's fourth lead is weeping. The genre's fourth lead has not wept in years. The genre's fourth lead is weeping now. The genre's harem watches. The genre's harem does not comfort. The genre's harem waits. She speaks, through the weeping. I was a soldier. I was loyal. I was sent here. I did not know. I did not know you were. She stops. The genre's fourth lead cannot finish. The genre's fourth lead has seen something. The genre's fourth lead has seen the harem. The genre's fourth lead has seen the unity. The genre's fourth lead has seen the protagonist command them. The genre's fourth lead has never seen anything like this. She says, the crown. They told me you were a monster. They told me you enslaved women. They told me you were building an army to attack the empire. She stops, looks at the harem, at the knight, at the witch, at the princess, at the protagonist. She says, they lied. Logan says, yes. One word. The genre's protagonist has confirmed. The genre's protagonist does not elaborate. The genre's protagonist does not defend. The genre's protagonist does not explain. The genre's protagonist waits. The genre's fourth lead is on her knees. The genre's fourth lead is broken. The genre's fourth lead is ready. She says, I will not go back. He says, I know. She says, I will not serve them. He says, I know. She says, I will. She stops. The genre's fourth lead is searching. The genre's fourth lead does not have the word. The genre's fourth lead has never needed the word before. The genre's fourth lead is looking for serve. The genre's fourth lead is looking for stay. The genre's fourth lead is looking for belong. He says, you can stay. She looks up. The hazel eyes wet. The scar stark. The brokenness total. The genre's protagonist has offered. The genre's fourth lead has heard. The genre's fourth lead does not believe. The genre's fourth lead has to ask. The genre's fourth lead has to be sure. She says, stay. He nods. She says, I will serve. He says, you will not serve. You will belong. The correction lands. The genre's fourth lead processes. The genre's fourth lead has been offered belonging. The genre's fourth lead has never been offered belonging. The genre's fourth lead accepts. The genre's fourth lead breaks again, differently. The system pings. Devotion metricas, Liren, 0% to 45%. The genre's economy has responded. The genre's fourth lead has defected. The genre's fourth lead has joined. The genre's harem has grown. The genre's protagonist has earned another. The genre's protagonist did not buy her. The harem watches. The metric ticks. The defection is complete. The genre's harem has seen. The genre's harem has filed. The genre's harem has opinions about the new member. The genre's harem will share them later. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem has nothing but time. Days pass. Liren heals. Liren integrates. The genre's fourth lead is learning the routine. The genre's fourth lead is learning the harem. The genre's fourth lead is learning the protagonist. The genre's fourth lead is devoted. The genre's fourth lead does not know the word for what she is. The genre's fourth lead is defected. Night. The fire. The table. The genre's harem settled. Liren in her new place by the fire. The chained sun clasp gone. The plain silver chain in its place. The genre's fourth lead has been marked. The genre's fourth lead has been accepted. The genre's fourth lead is inside. The genre's fourth lead is family. The genre's harem has accepted her. The genre's harem still has opinions. Serafina stands. Walks to Logan. The iron collar stark. The violet eyes steady. The genre's knight captain has something to say. The genre's knight captain has been holding it. The genre's knight captain is done holding it. The genre's knight captain speaks. She says, I have a request. He says, speak. She says, not here. He nods, stands. They walk to the interrogation room, the basement. The genre's protagonist does not know what she wants. The genre's protagonist is curious. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist will hear her. The basement. Cold. Stone. A single torch. The genre's protagonist and the knight captain, alone. The iron collar stark in the torchlight, the violet eyes steady. The genre's knight captain has a request. The genre's knight captain has been holding it. The genre's knight captain is done holding it. She says, the collar. He waits. She says, I want you to keep it. He waits. She says, I want you to use it. He says, use it. She says, yes. She says, when I fail, when I displease, when I am not enough. She says, I want you to punish me. He says, why? She says, because I need it. She says, because the praise is not enough. She says, because I need to know the lines are there. She says, because I need to know you will enforce them. She says, because I need to know I am yours. The genre's knight captain has confessed. The genre's knight captain has exposed. The genre's knight captain is waiting. And then, she breaks. The genre's fourth lead has broken. The hazel eyes spill. The scar stark. The shoulders shake. The genre's fourth lead is weeping. The genre's fourth lead has not wept in years. The genre's fourth lead is weeping now. The genre's harem watches. The genre's harem does not comfort. The genre's harem waits. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem outlasts everything. She says, then hold me accountable. He says, I will. She says, when I fail. He says, I will tell you. She says, and if I fail again, he says, I will tell you again. She says, I will tell you again. She says, and the caller, he says, stays until there is a key. She nods. The genre's night captain has been heard. The genre's night captain has been given what she needed, not what she asked for, what she needed. They return upstairs. The harem watches. The harem does not ask. The harem knows something shifted. The harem does not know what. The harem has opinions. The harem will share them later. The harem is patient. The harem is always patient. The system pings. Devotion matrix. Serafina, 58% to 74%. The genre's economy has responded. The genre's night captain has been heard. The genre's night captain has been given what she needed. The genre's economy is honest about this. The genre's economy is always honest. Days pass. The compound settles. The harem integrates. Liren finds her place. Serafina is softer. Nyx is scheming. Raksha is healing. Logan is planning. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist has a full plate. The genre is generous like that. And then, the system pings. Not a threat, not a reward, an anomaly. The genre's protagonist has been notified. The genre's protagonist has a new problem. The genre's protagonist has a new thread. The genre's protagonist has episodes. He reads it. Anomaly detected, unknown magical signature. Location, Old Blight Battlegrounds, 50 km north. Signature, cult-like. Recommendation, investigate. The genre's new threat has been announced. The genre's new threat has been foreshadowed. The genre's protagonist has a choice. The genre's protagonist will investigate. The genre's protagonist always investigates. He calls Nyx, to the tower, to the lab, to the research. The genre's second lead has been summoned. The genre's second lead has skills. The genre's second lead has knowledge. The genre's second lead has been waiting for this. The genre's second lead knows things. The genre's second lead has not shared them, yet. She says, where? He says, the Old Blight Battlegrounds. She goes still. The mist stops. The runes dim. The genre's second lead has gone still. The genre's second lead has recognized something. The genre's second lead has history with this. The genre's second lead has not shared it. The genre's second lead is about to. She says, the sealed flame. He says, what? She says, the cult. They worship the entity I contacted 200 years ago. They have been waiting. They have been searching. They have found me. The genre's second lead has confessed. The genre's second lead has history. The genre's protagonist has a new thread. The genre's protagonist has a new problem. He says, tell me everything. She does. The entity, the bargain, the knowledge, the ceiling, the cult that formed after, the 200 years of waiting. The genre's second lead has shared everything. The genre's protagonist has listened. The genre's protagonist has filed. The genre's protagonist has plans. The genre's protagonist always has plans. He says, are you in danger? She says, we all are. He says, the cult. She says, will come for me, for what I know, for what I contacted. He says, when? She says, soon. They have been searching for 200 years. They have found the signature. They will come. The genre's new threat has been confirmed. The genre's new thread has been pulled. The genre's protagonist has been warned. He says, then we prepare. She says, we. He says, we. She stares. The genre's second lead has been included. The genre's second lead has been claimed. The genre's second lead is not alone. The genre's second lead has not been not alone for 200 years. The genre's second lead is processing. She says, you would defend me against a cult. He says, I would defend what is mine. She says, mine. He says, you, the knight, the princess, the defector, all of you. She stares. The genre's second lead has been claimed. The genre's second lead has been included. The genre's second lead is processing. The genre's second lead is falling. The genre's second lead does not know it yet. The system pings. Devotion matrix. Nyx, 70% to 78%. The genre's economy has responded. The genre's second lead has been claimed. The genre's second lead has been included. The genre's economy is honest. The genre's economy is always honest. He returns to the hall. The harem is there. The fire, the table, the iron collar, the mist, the claws, the devotion, the genre's full house assembled. The genre's protagonist has news. The genre's protagonist has a new threat. The genre's protagonist has a new thread. The genre's protagonist shares. He tells them, the cult, the sealed flame, the entity, Nyx's history, the coming threat. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem processes. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem shares them. The genre's harem always shares them. Serafina speaks. When? He says. Soon, she says. Then we prepare. The genre's night captain has accepted. The genre's night captain has a new threat. The genre's night captain is ready. The genre's night captain is always ready. Raksha speaks. Occult, I will hunt them. The genre's third lead has volunteered. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is perfect for hunting cults. The genre's protagonist nods. The genre's protagonist accepts. Liren speaks. I will scout. I know crown methods. Cults use similar. The genre's fourth lead has volunteered. The genre's fourth lead has skills. The genre's fourth lead is proving herself. The genre's protagonist nods. The genre's protagonist accepts. The genre's harem has converged on the new threat. The genre's harem has united. The genre's harem has a new threat. The genre's harem has converged. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist has a full defense. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist is always fine with this. Outside, the snow, the dead pines, the distant mountains, and somewhere, north, a cult, the sealed flame. Searching, the genre's next threat has been announced. The genre's protagonist does not know when. The genre's protagonist knows it's coming. The genre's protagonist has time. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist has episodes. Next episode. The cult is coming. The harem is preparing. The crown is also coming. The genre's protagonist has two problems. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist has a full plate. The genre's protagonist has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Spoiler, the cult arrives. Spoiler, the harem fights. Spoiler, someone bleeds. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist has a plan. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist always has a plan. Spoiler, the genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Previously, Logan has a knight, a witch, a princess, and a defector. The cult is coming. The crown is also coming. The genre's protagonist has two problems. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist wouldn't have it any other way. Day 1. The system pings. Red border. Imperial asset detected. Crown Inquisitor Scout. ETA, 3 days. Recommendation, console or confront. The genre's protagonist has been warned. The genre's protagonist has a choice. The genre has episodes. He calls them all. The Iron Collar, the Mist, the Claws, the Devotion. The genre's full house convened. The genre's protagonist has news. The genre's protagonist shares. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem processes. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem always has opinions. The genre's harem has filed them. The genre's harem is patient. He tells them. The Scout, the Crown, the 3 days. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem processes. Seraphina's face goes professional. Nyx's face goes calculating. Raksha's face goes feral. Liren's face goes tense. The genre's harem has converged on the threat. Logan says, we hide, we conceal, we play poor, we play struggling. The Scout finds nothing. The Scout reports nothing. We survive. The genre's harem stares. The genre's harem did not expect this. The genre's harem expected combat. The genre's protagonist has proposed deception. The genre's harem is intrigued. Seraphina speaks. Conceal. He says yes. She says, I am not good at concealing. He says, you will be a hired hand, a farm laborer, no armor, no sword, no collar visible. She stares. The Iron Collar stark. The genre's knight captain has been asked to hide. The genre's knight captain does not like this. The genre's knight captain accepts. Nyx speaks. The tower. He says, concealed. Illusions. The Scout will see ruins. She nods, slowly. The genre's second lead has been given the hardest job. The genre's second lead has skills. The genre's second lead is amused. The genre's second lead always has opinions. Raksha speaks. And me, he says, hidden, hooded, tail-wrapped, ears down, you play mute. She growls. Low. The genre's third lead does not like this. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is also disciplined. The genre's third lead accepts. Growling. Liren speaks. I know this Scout. I was trained with him. The genre's fourth lead has history. The genre's fourth lead has intelligence. The genre's fourth lead is proving her value. The genre's protagonist listens. The genre's protagonist files. The genre's protagonist uses. She says, his name is Varen, not your family. Different branch. He is thorough. He is suspicious. He will look for things. He will find things if we are not careful. The genre's protagonist has been warned. The genre's protagonist files. The genre's protagonist has plans. The genre's protagonist always has plans. He says, then we are careful. 3 days. We prepare. We conceal. We survive. The genre's harem nods. All 4. The genre's harem has accepted. The genre's harem has a plan. The genre's harem has 3 days. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem has nothing but time. Day 1 of preparation. The compound transforms. The banner comes down. The perimeter wall gets breaches added. The hall gets dirt on its walls. The tower gets illusion wards. The genre's protagonist is building a lie. The genre's harem is building it with him. The genre's harem is good at this. Seraphina sheds the armor, stands in the gambeson, the iron collar hidden under a high collar, the sword hidden under a pile of firewood. The genre's knight captain has become a farm laborer. The genre's knight captain does not like this. The genre's knight captain is disciplined. The genre's knight captain endures. Nyx conceals the tower. Illusions wrap it. The rune carvings vanish. The standing stones vanish. The door becomes plain wood. The purple glow vanishes. The tower looks like ruins. The genre's second lead has done her work. The genre's second lead is amused. The genre's second lead always has opinions. Raksha puts on the cloak, hood up, tail wrapped, ears down, she plays mute. The genre's third lead does not like this. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is also disciplined. The genre's third lead endures. The genre's third lead growls, once, then, is silent. Liren plays her old role, the refugee, the chained sun clasped back on, the throwing knives visible, the scar stark. The genre's fourth lead has gone back undercover. The genre's fourth lead is the inside asset. The genre's fourth lead will feed the scout disinfo. The genre's fourth lead is ready. Logan sheds the coat, the signet ring, the gloves, puts on a threadbare peasant's tunic, patches on the trousers, posture defeated. The genre's protagonist has become a struggling exile. The genre's protagonist is good at this. The genre's protagonist has been this before. The genre's protagonist is patient. Day 2. Rehearsal. The genre's harem runs through the scenario. The scout arrives. The protagonist plays poor. The knight plays laborer. The witch plays ruins. The princess plays mute. The defector plays refugee. The genre's harem is good at this. The genre's harem has skills. The genre's harem always has skills. Nyx walks through the illusions, tests them. The tower looks ruined. The runes are gone. The wards are invisible. The genre's second lead has done her work. The genre's second lead is satisfied. The genre's second lead always has opinions. The genre's second lead shares them. Liren briefs them on Varen, his methods, his tells, his suspicions, his weaknesses. The genre's fourth lead has intelligence. The genre's fourth lead is proving her value. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem files. The genre's harem is ready. The genre's harem is always ready. She says, he will look for the system. He will not find it. He will look for subjects. He will find a laborer and a refugee. He will look for threats. He will find a struggling exile. The genre's harem has the plan. The genre's harem has the intel. The genre's harem is ready. The genre's harem is always ready. Day 3. Dawn. The system pings. Imperial asset approaching. ETA, 2 hours. The genre's protagonist has been warned. The genre's harem takes positions. The genre's harem is ready. The genre's harem is always ready. The genre's harem is hiding. The genre's harem is good at hiding. 2 hours. The genre's harem waits. The fire low. The door closed. The disguise is on. The genre's protagonist is at the table. Defeated. The genre's knight captain is by the fire. Laboring. The genre's second lead is in the ruins. Hidden. The genre's third lead is in the corner. Mute. The genre's fourth lead is by the door. Refugee. The genre's harem is in position. And then. Hoofbeats. Distant. Approaching. The genre's scout has arrived. The genre's harem does not move. The genre's harem does not breathe. The genre's harem waits. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem is forever. The horse stops. Outside. The genre's scout has dismounted. The genre's scout is at the door. The genre's scout knocks. The genre's protagonist opens. The genre's protagonist plays poor. The genre's protagonist is good at this. The genre's protagonist has been this before. The scout looks around. The worn hall, the low fire, the laborer by the hearth, the refugee by the door, the mute in the corner, the struggling exile. The scout's cold blue eyes track everything. The scout is thorough. The scout is suspicious. The scout finds nothing. Yet. The scout looks around. The worn hall, the low fire, the laborer by the hearth, the refugee by the door, the mute in the corner, the struggling exile. The scout's cold blue eyes track everything. The scout is thorough. The scout is suspicious. The scout finds nothing. Yet. The yet is doing a lot of work in that sentence. The scout walks through the hall, touches the walls, looks at the fire, examines the table, opens cupboards. The genre's harem does not move. The genre's harem does not breathe. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The scout finds nothing, yet. He looks at Seraphina. And this, Logan says, a laborer, hired, she works for food. The scout's eyes track her. The hidden collar, the hidden sword, the hidden brand mark. The genre's knight captain does not move. The genre's knight captain does not breathe. The genre's knight captain is disciplined. The genre's knight captain endures. He looks at Liren. And this. Liren says, a refugee, lost. The exile took me in. The scout's eyes narrow. He recognizes her. The genre's fourth lead has been made. The genre's fourth lead performs. The genre's fourth lead is good. The genre's fourth lead is also exposed. The genre's fourth lead holds. He says, you were crown. She says, I defected. The exile took me in. The scout's eyes track her, the clasp, the knives, the scar. The genre's fourth lead has performed. The scout is not convinced. The scout files. The scout moves on. The genre's harem breathes, slightly. He looks at Raksha, the mute in the corner. And this, Logan says, a mute found in the snow. She helps. The scout's eyes track the cloak, the hood, the hidden tail. The genre's third lead does not move. The genre's third lead does not growl. The genre's third lead is disciplined. The genre's third lead endures. The scout walks outside. To the ruins of the tower. The genre's second lead has concealed it. The illusions hold. The scout walks through the ruins, finds nothing. The runes are gone. The standing stones are gone. The door is plain wood. The genre's second lead has done her work. The genre's second lead is satisfied. The genre's second lead is hidden. The scout returns to the hall, sits at the table, takes out parchment, begins writing. The genre's harem waits. The genre's harem does not move. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The scout is writing. The scout is filing. The genre's harem hopes. He finishes, stands, says, "You are struggling. The crown notes this. You will remain. The crown will send another scout in 1 month." The genre's protagonist nods. The genre's protagonist plays poor. The genre's protagonist is good at this. The scout leaves. The genre's harem breathes. The scout mounts, rides south. The genre's harem watches from the windows. The scout is leaving. The scout has the report. The report is honest. The report will reach the crown. The report will say, "Struggling exile." The crown will not be convinced. The crown will send another. The genre's protagonist has a month. Logan says, "Nix." She says, "I know." She does not wait. She walks to the tower. The illusions drop. The runes return. The standing stones return. The purple glow returns. The genre's second lead has work to do. The genre's second lead has a report to Hex. The genre's second lead has skills. In the lab, she prepares. The sex scout reports image in a scrying pool. The purple mist forming. The rune circles activating. The genre's second lead is casting. The genre's second lead is hexing. The genre's second lead is honest about this. The genre's second lead has opinions about this. The genre's second lead shares them. She whispers. Words in an old language. The mist reaches, across the miles, to the scout's saddlebag, to the report. The ink shifts. The words change. The report now reads, "Struggling exile. No threats. No subjects. No tower. No system. The crown will be satisfied. The crown will not be convinced. The crown will send another. But the report is hexed. The genre's second lead has done her work." She returns to the hall. The genre's harem is there. The fire, the table, the disguise is still on. The genre's second lead has done her work. The genre's second lead is satisfied. The genre's second lead always has opinions. The genre's second lead shares them. She says, "It is done. The report will read favorable. The crown will be satisfied, for now." The genre's harem processes. The genre's harem nods. The genre's harem has accepted. The genre's harem has a month. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem is forever. Logan says, 1 month. Serafina says, then another scout. He says, yes. She says, we cannot hide forever. He says, no. She says, then what? He says, we prepare, we grow, we become too strong to hide. The genre's protagonist has a plan. The genre's protagonist always has a plan. The genre's protagonist is patient. The harem sheds the disguises. The armor returns. The sword returns. The claws return. The mist returns. The collar is stark. The genre's harem is back. The genre's harem has a month. The genre's harem has a plan. The genre's harem has work. The genre's harem always has work. The system pings. Devotion metrics. All 4. Ticking up. The genre's economy has responded. The genre's harem has been tested. The genre's harem has held. The genre's economy is honest. The genre's economy is always honest. The compound settles. The harem integrates. The month begins. The genre's protagonist has time. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist has plans. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist is always patient. The genre's protagonist has episodes. And then, the system pings. Not the scout, not the crown, something else. The genre's protagonist looks. The genre's protagonist reads. The genre's protagonist's face changes. The genre's protagonist has a new problem. The genre's protagonist has a new thread. The genre's protagonist has episodes. He calls them, again, the iron collar, the mist, the claws, the devotion. The genre's full house convened. The genre's protagonist has news. The genre's protagonist shares. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem processes. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem always has opinions. The genre's harem is loading. He tells them, the Beastkin army, 200 warriors, Raksha's tribe, coming for her. The genre's harem processes. Raksha's ears flatten. The genre's third lead has been made. The genre's third lead is the target. The genre's third lead has opinions. The genre's third lead shares them. Raksha speaks. My father. Logan says yes. She says he will not stop. He says I know. She says 200 warriors. He says I know. She says you cannot hide from this. He says I will not hide from this. The genre's protagonist has decided. The genre's protagonist will fight. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist has a plan. Next episode. The Beastkin army is coming. 200 warriors. The harem is preparing. The protagonist has a plan. The genre's protagonist always has a plan. The genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Spoiler, the army arrives. Spoiler, the harem fights. Spoiler, all four awaken. Spoiler, it is devastating. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist has a plan. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist always has a plan. Spoiler, the genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Previously, Logan has a knight, a witch, a princess, and a defector. The cult is coming. The crown is suspicious. And now, 200 Beastkin warriors are coming for the princess. The genre's protagonist has three problems. The genre's protagonist has a full house. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist wouldn't have it any other way. Day 1 of 14. The system pings. Army map, 200 red dots, approaching from the south. The genre's protagonist has been warned. The genre's protagonist has 2 weeks. The genre has done this before. He calls them, all. The Iron Collar, the Mist, the Claws, the Devotion. The genre's full house convened. The genre's protagonist has news. The genre's protagonist shares. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem processes. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem always has opinions. The genre's harem is loading. The genre's harem is always loading. He tells them, the army. 200, Raksha's tribe, her father. Coming for her. The genre's harem processes. Raksha's ears flatten. The genre's third lead has been targeted. The genre's third lead is the cause. The genre's third lead has opinions. The genre's third lead shares them. Raksha speaks. My father will not stop. He will bring the whole tribe. Logan says, I know. She says, 200 warriors. You have 4. And a system. He says, and a plan. She says, what plan? He says, we talk first. We fight if we must. We win either way. The genre has episodes. Serafina speaks. 200. Even with the awakened state we cannot hold. Logan says, we do not hold, we strike, we break, we offer terms. The genre's Knight Captain processes. The genre's Knight Captain did not expect this. The genre's Knight Captain files. The genre's Knight Captain accepts. Nick speaks. The chieftain, he is the key. Break him. The army breaks. Logan nods. That is the plan. She says, I can slow them. Wards, traps, bottlenecks. He says, do it. The genre's second lead has been assigned. The genre's second lead has skills. The genre's second lead always has skills. Liren speaks. I will scout. I will find the chieftain. I will find the weak points. Logan nods. The genre's fourth lead has volunteered. The genre's fourth lead has skills. The genre's fourth lead is proving herself. The genre's fourth lead is ready. Raksha speaks. I will meet my father. The genre's harem stares. The genre's third lead has just volunteered to face her father. The genre's third lead has just volunteered to fight her tribe. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is perfect for this genre. Logan says, no. She says, he is my father. He says, he is the enemy. I will meet him. She says, he will kill you. He says, he will try. The genre's protagonist has decided. The genre's protagonist will face the chieftain. The genre has episodes. Days pass. Preparation. Nick sets wards, traps, bottlenecks in the dead pines. Liren scouts south, reports. The army's position, the chieftain's tent, the weak points. Serafina drills, the perimeter, the fallback positions, the killing ground. Raksha stews. The genre's harem is preparing. The genre's harem is ready. The genre's harem is always ready. Day 12. The system pings. Army map P. The red blob is closer. 2 days out. The genre's protagonist has run out of preparation time. The genre's protagonist has a plan. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist is ready. The genre's protagonist is always ready. Day 13. Liren returns. Final report. The army is camped 10 miles south. The chieftain is in the center, surrounded by guards. The genre's fourth lead has delivered. The genre's fourth lead is proving herself. The genre's fourth lead is ready. The genre's fourth lead is always ready. She says, 200, the chieftain, 20 guards, the center, he will not negotiate, he has sworn to reclaim Raksha or kill her. The genre's harem processes, Raksha's ears flatten, the genre's third lead has been condemned by her father. The genre's third lead has opinions, the genre's third lead is ready. Logan says, then we do not negotiate with him, we negotiate with the army. The genre's harem stares. The genre's protagonist has just proposed bypassing the chieftain. The genre's protagonist has just proposed speaking to the warriors. The genre's harem did not expect this. The genre's harem is intrigued. The genre's harem is always intrigued. He says, the chieftain has sworn, the warriors have not. The warriors follow strength. We demonstrate strength. We offer terms. The warriors choose. Serafina says you would pit the warriors against their chieftain. He says, I would give them a choice. The genre's Knight Captain processes. The genre's Knight Captain files. The genre's Knight Captain accepts. Day 14. Dawn. The system pings. The army is moving. Final approach. The genre's protagonist has run out of time. The genre's protagonist has a plan. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist is ready. The genre's protagonist is always ready. The harem takes positions. Serafina at the perimeter. Nyx in the tower. Raksha in the dead pines. Liren in the shadows. Logan at the gate. The genre's full house deployed. The genre's harem is ready. The genre's harem is always ready. The genre's harem is outnumbered. The genre's harem is fine with this. The genre's harem is always fine with this. They come. Through the dead pines. 200 warriors, the snow swirling, the war paint, the claws, the fangs, the war axes. The genre's full threat has arrived. The genre's harem does not move. The genre's harem waits. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem has nothing but time. The chieftain, at the center, on a massive war beast, the scarred fur, the one golden eye. The massive war axe. The genre's father has arrived. The genre's third lead's father. The genre's protagonist has a target. The genre is honest about this. He roars. Raksha, the name echoes across the snow. The genre's third lead does not move. The genre's third lead is in the dead pines. The genre's third lead is hidden. The genre's third lead is ready. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is perfect for this genre. Logan steps forward, alone, through the gate, into the snow. The genre's protagonist has stepped out. The genre's protagonist is unarmed, hands visible. The genre's protagonist has done this before. The genre's protagonist will do this again. The genre's protagonist is committed. The chieftain's one golden eye finds him. You, Logan says, me. The chieftain says, you took my daughter. Logan says, she came to me. The chieftain roars, liar. Logan says, ask her. The genre's protagonist has just offered evidence. The genre's protagonist has just invited testimony. The genre's protagonist is confident. The genre's protagonist is committed. Raksha steps out, from the dead pines, into the snow, visible. The genre's third lead has revealed herself. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is ready. The genre's third lead stands beside the protagonist. The chieftain's one golden eye widens. Raksha, she says, father. He says, you would stand with him. She says, I would. He says, you would betray your tribe. She says, I would choose. The genre's third lead has chosen. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead is falling. The genre's third lead has fallen. The chieftain roars, then die. He raises the war axe. The army charges. 200 warriors. The genre's battle has begun. The genre's harem does not wait. The genre's harem moves. The genre's harem is ready. The genre's harem is always ready. Nyx strikes first. From the tower, the black flame lance. It hits the front line. The snow explodes. Warriors fly. The bottleneck holds. The genre's second lead has struck. The genre's second lead is devastating. The genre's second lead always has skills. Serafina strikes second. From the perimeter, the sword, the awakened state. The genre's Knight Captain has activated. The gold ring around her violet eyes. The brand mark flaring. The sword blazing. The genre's Knight Captain is unleashed. The genre's Knight Captain is devastating. Liren strikes third. From the shadows, the throwing knives, the silent kills. The genre's fourth lead has struck. The genre's fourth lead is proving herself. The genre's fourth lead is devastating. The genre's fourth lead is ready. The genre's fourth lead is always ready. Raksha strikes fourth. From the front, the claws, the fangs, the red sash trailing. The genre's third lead has struck. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is devastating. The genre's third lead is fighting her own tribe. The genre's third lead is committed. The army falters, the first line broken, the bottleneck holding, the warriors falling, the chieftain roars, pushes forward, the war axe swinging, the genre's harem is holding. The genre's harem is outnumbered. The genre's harem is fine with this. The genre's harem is always fine with this. Logan moves toward the chieftain, the iron sword, the studded vest. The genre's protagonist is moving. The genre's protagonist is committed. The genre's protagonist has a target. The genre is generous like that. The chieftain sees him. Roars, swings the war axe. Logan parries, barely. The iron sword screams. The genre's protagonist is outmatched. The genre's protagonist is committed. The genre is honest about this. Logan says, quad pact. The system pings. QUADPAPAPATPAPA, cost 20 DEV, 4 subjects. Simultaneous awakened state, 90 seconds. The genre's protagonist has tapped it. The genre's harem is about to light up. The genre's harem is about to be devastating. All 4 light up, simultaneously. the gold-packed glow wrapping around all of them. Seraphina's eyes ring gold, Nyx's runes go solid gold, Raksha's stripes spread, Liran's scar flares silver. The genre's first four-way awakened state has activated. The genre's harem is devastating. The genre's harem is unleashed. All four light up. Simultaneously, the gold-packed glow wrapping around all of them. Seraphina's eyes ring gold, Nyx's runes go solid gold, Raksha's stripes spread, Liran's scar flares silver. The genre's first four-way awakened state has activated. The genre's harem is devastating. The genre's harem is unleashed. The genre's harem is the reason the crown should have stayed home. Nyx moves, the black flame, the runes blazing, the battlefield control, warriors frozen, warriors burned, warriors broken. The genre's second lead has become the genre's artillery. Nothing survives her. The genre's second lead is devastating. The genre's second lead is unleashed. Raksha moves, the claws extended, the stripes spread, the speed, the fury. The genre's third lead has become the genre's shock troops. Nothing outruns her. The genre's third lead is devastating. The genre's third lead is unleashed. The genre's third lead is fighting her own tribe. Liran moves, the silver blade, the silent kills, the precision. The genre's fourth lead has become the genre's assassin. Nothing sees her. The genre's fourth lead is devastating. The genre's fourth lead is proving herself. The genre's fourth lead is unleashed. The army breaks. The warriors flee. The chieftain roars, alone, surrounded. The war axe still swinging. The genre's protagonist stands before him. The iron sword. The genre's protagonist has a choice. The genre has episodes. Raksha steps forward, the claws still extended, the golden eyes on her father. The genre's third lead has stepped up. The genre's third lead will face him. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is his daughter. The chieftain's one golden eye finds her. Raksha, she says, father, he says you would kill me. She says, I would choose. He roars, swings the war axe at her. The genre's third lead's father has swung at her. The genre's third lead does not flinch. The genre's third lead is committed. She catches the war axe. One hand, the claws digging into the handle. The genre's third lead has caught her father's war axe. The genre's third lead is stronger. The genre's third lead is faster. The genre's third lead is awakened. The genre's third lead is devastating. She drives the claws of her other hand into his chest. One strike. Clean. The chieftain's one golden eye goes wide. The war axe falls. The genre's third lead has killed her father. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is his daughter. The genre's third lead has chosen. The chieftain falls, slowly, into the snow, the one golden eye dimming. The genre's father is dead. The genre's third lead's father is dead. The genre's third lead stands over him. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead has chosen. The genre's third lead is his. The packed glow fades. All four, the awakened state ending. The harem drops to their knees, exhausted. The genre's combo has a cost. The genre's combo has been paid. The genre's first four-way awakened state has worked. The genre's first four-way awakened state will be used again. The surviving warriors, on their knees, weapons down, the surrender banner re-raised. The genre's army has surrendered. The genre's protagonist has won. The genre's protagonist has an army. The genre has episodes. Logan stands before the survivors. 200 warriors became 120, 80 dead, the rest on their knees. The genre's protagonist has an audience. The genre's protagonist has a choice. The genre's protagonist has a plan. The genre's protagonist speaks. He says, your chieftain is dead. He swore to reclaim his daughter. He failed. She chose. She is here. She is mine. You can follow her. You can follow me. Or you can die in the snow. The genre's protagonist has offered terms. The genre's protagonist has given a choice. The genre's protagonist is patient. The genre's protagonist will wait. The survivors look at Raksha, the chieftain's daughter, the killer, the chosen. The genre's third lead stands. The genre's third lead is their new chief. The genre's third lead is committed. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is theirs. The genre's third lead is his. She says, follow him. He is stronger than father. He is stronger than the tribe. He is my choice. Make him yours. The survivors process. The survivors nod. Slowly, one by one. The genre's army has been acquired. The genre's third lead has led them. The genre's protagonist has won. The system pings. Territory acquired. Beastkin warband. 20 warriors joined to sovereign forces. Passive devotion income, plus 15 to VDAD. New structure unlocked. Barracks. The genre's economy has responded. The genre's protagonist has an army. The genre's protagonist has income. The genre's protagonist has grown. The harem rises. Exhausted but standing. The genre's harem has won. The genre's harem has bled. The genre's harem has proven itself. The genre's harem is devastating. The genre's harem is his. The genre's harem is always his. Raksha walks to her father's body, stands over it. The golden eyes wet, the fangs hidden. The genre's third lead has killed her father. The genre's third lead has chosen. The genre's third lead is grieving. The genre's third lead does not show it. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead is also his daughter. Logan walks to her, stands beside her, does not speak, does not touch, just stands. The genre's protagonist has given her presence. The genre's protagonist has given her silence. The genre's protagonist has given her space. The genre approves. She says, he was not always this. He says, I know. She says, he was a father. Once. He says, I know. She says, I killed him. He says, you chose. She nods. The genre's third lead has confessed. The genre's third lead has been heard. The genre's third lead has been given what she needed, not what she asked for, what she needed. The system pings. Devotion metrics. Raksha. 68% to 88%. The genre's economy has responded. The genre's third lead has killed for him. The genre's third lead has chosen him. The genre's economy is honest. The genre's economy is always honest. The army is processed. The system acquires them. The devotion income begins. The barracks is queued. The genre's protagonist has grown. The genre's protagonist has an army. The genre's protagonist has income. The genre approves. The harem returns to the hall. The fire, the table, the iron collar, the mist, the claws, the devotion. The genre's full house assembled. The genre's protagonist has won. The genre's harem has won. The genre's army has been acquired. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem is forever. Night, the fire. The harem settled. The army camped outside. The compound has grown. The genre's protagonist has an army. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist has a plan. The genre has opinions. The genre is not shy about them. And then, the system pings. Not the army, not the cult, something else. The genre's protagonist looks. The genre's protagonist reads. The genre's protagonist's face changes. The genre's protagonist has a new problem. The genre's protagonist has a new thread. The genre's protagonist has episodes. Eldrin, the brother. The one who framed him, the one who started this. The genre's protagonist has just heard his brother's name. The genre's protagonist does not blink. The genre's protagonist files it. The genre's protagonist has plans. The genre's protagonist has episodes. The genre's protagonist has a brother to meet. He calls them all. The iron collar, the mist, the claws, the devotion. The genre's full house convened. The genre's protagonist has news. The genre's protagonist shares. The genre's harem listens. The genre's harem processes. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem always has opinions. The genre's harem has filed them. The genre's harem is patient. He tells them, Eldrin, the brother, the framing, the exile, the coming, the genre's harem processes. Seraphina's face goes cold, Nyx's face goes predatory, Raksha's face goes feral, Liren's face goes sharp. The genre's harem has converged on the new threat. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem shares them. Seraphina speaks. The brother, he says yes. She says, the one who framed you. He says yes. She says, I will kill him. The genre's night captain has volunteered. The genre's night captain is ready. The genre's night captain is always ready. Nyx speaks. The brother, a noble, I can hex him from afar. The genre's second lead has volunteered. The genre's second lead has skills. The genre's second lead is always scheming. The genre's second lead is ready. Raksha speaks. The brother, I will hunt him. The genre's third lead has volunteered. The genre's third lead is feral. The genre's third lead has an army now. The genre's third lead is ready. Liren speaks. The brother, I know him. I was trained to protect people like him. I know his methods. I know his weaknesses. The genre's fourth lead has volunteered. The genre's fourth lead has intelligence. The genre's fourth lead is proving herself. The genre's fourth lead is ready. Logan says, no. The genre's harem stares. The genre's protagonist has refused. The genre's protagonist has a different plan. The genre's protagonist has always a different plan. The genre's harem waits. The genre's harem is patient. The genre's harem is always patient. The genre's harem has nothing but time. He says, I will meet him, alone, as I met the chieftain, as I met the scout, as I met all of them. The genre's harem stares. The genre's protagonist has just refused them. The genre's protagonist has just chosen to face his brother alone. The genre's harem has opinions. The genre's harem shares them. Seraphina says, no. The genre's night captain has refused. The genre's night captain has never refused. The genre's night captain is refusing now. The genre's protagonist stares. The genre's protagonist is surprised. The genre's protagonist files it. She says, you will not face him alone. Not this time. This is your brother. This is personal. You will not be objective. You will not be strategic. You will be angry, and anger makes mistakes. The genre's night captain has spoken. The genre's night captain has corrected him. The genre's night captain has never done this. The genre's protagonist accepts. He says, then you come. She says, I come. He says, all of you. The genre's harem nods. All 4. The genre's harem has been included. The genre's harem has asserted. The genre's harem is no longer just following. The genre's harem is leading. The genre's protagonist accepts. The genre's protagonist is outnumbered. The genre's protagonist is fine with this. The genre's protagonist is always fine with this. Next episode. The brother is coming. The harem is coming. The genre's protagonist has an army. The genre's protagonist has a harem. The genre's protagonist has a brother to meet. The genre's protagonist has episodes. The genre always has episodes. Spoiler, the brother arrives. Spoiler, the harem intercepts. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist has a plan. Spoiler, the genre's protagonist always has a plan. Spoiler, the brother has no idea what's coming. Spoiler, the genre has episodes. The genre always has episodes.